Score. That's the movie. The movie's The Score. Damn good movie too.
I read it again. Psalms 83 and verse 2, it says, "For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones." We're hidden from our true nationality.
Right.
A lot of our people don't know that they're Israelites. They call themselves blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, so on and so forth. Right. They're hidden from their nationality, and they're hidden from the truth, man. So it says, they have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation."
Right. And that happened to us, man. All right. When we went into captivity, all right, we lost our way. They took away our language. They took away our heritage, all right? And now you got the so-called Jew, all right, of the seed of Amalek, all right, calling themselves as they're the people of the Lord, man. You know?
It says, they have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against the tabernacles of Edom."
Tabernacle of Edom. He's at the very top. All right? Because guess what? The so-called white man is our top enemy, man. See? But you got Jake out there. They wanna join hand in hand with Esau, man. You know? Just like this past weekend. Okay? You got people celebrating because this damn this Edomite police officer, you know, he got off. He got found guilty. All right, and everybody's, you know, celebrating like it's damn New Year's Eve, man. And guess what? The day after, hey, Shalom, the day after, a girl, I forgot what city it was in, Columbus, Ohio, right? She called the police and got put to death, man. You know. So it's just that's an ongoing thing, man. You know, with Jake, centuries after centuries, you know, that's how people getting put to death, man. You know, you got one Edomite out of what? Thousands of Edomites that were basically they got off. You know what I'm saying? They got off for murder. And now, you know, you celebrating that one victory, you know, because he got you know what I'm saying? He got sent to jail or whatnot, and most likely the guy might not even serve that much time. You know what I'm saying?
The judge already looking like I could sense the vibe on the judge. He already on the guy's Derek Chauvin. He already on his side in a way because he was already ready to declare a mistrial. You understand? And you have to realize that's an Edomite judge, Edomite man, and that's an Edomite devil. That's a defendant, and they see each other. Just like if you see another Jake, you might want to have mercy on that Jake. You understand? So the same way with Esau Edom. And plus he killed a Jake, so it's even better. He didn't kill another Edomite. So he gonna more than likely have mercy on him and give him probably like 10 years. He get out in 5-6 years. Something like that.
That's what it is, man. You know, Jake's out there, you know, thinking that it's over. That his thing is just stopped with him. You know what I'm saying?
And when he in there, them cops, they gonna treat him good, man. Them COs and shit, they gonna treat him good. They gonna be like, oh yeah, they give him a fucked up trial, they gonna treat him good. He's not gonna be getting his ass beat in prison. No, he's gonna be in PC. The correction officers gonna be treating him good, giving him food, phone calls and all of that, man. He's not gonna be catching him.
Back in the scripture it says, Psalms 83 verse 6, tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites,
which are the Arabs,
of Moab,
so-called Chinese,
and the Hagarenes,
so-called Africa, right? So-called Africa.
Gabal and Ammon.
You could go to the Blue Letter, look up Hagarenes, and it'll let you know exactly, you know, where they from and whatnot, man. You know what I'm saying? Just don't guess it. Go to the Blue Letter, you know.
It says Gabal and Ammon and Amalek,
so-called Jew. Go ahead.
The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre,
so-called Africans, man. So all these nations, you know, out of the 18 nations, the Lord, Arabs, right? Arabs from
Hagarenes.
Hagar, right?
See?
Okay.
It's like
those ain't Africans.
Right. So so out of the 18 nations, right? The Lord has only chosen the nation of Israel, man. Okay? We're the chosen line. We're the chosen lineage, man. All right? It's not about the Lord dealing with all nations, man. You know? The Lord actually hates the other nations, man. Okay?
Yeah, actually, it's funny. Well, not funny, but that's spiritually said that because he says what? They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, showing the Lord has the people, man. Because after that, what he named the nations that named the enemies, his enemies, man, beginning with Esau, Edom. So who? The Hebrew Israelites. That's right.
We are Isaiah 14:1.
God, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
Right, the Lord once again will have mercy on his people, man. Beginning with the elect. All right? That's why he was given this word, man, in the latter times right now to the Lord is showing his mercy, man. All right? Our captivity is almost at an end. You see? We don't almost served out our captivity. That's how the Lord is showing mercy on us, man. All right? They say he would yet choose Israel, man. See? Yeah.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
And the strangers is talking about those Israelite foreigners, man. That, through the word, they're going to come back, repent of their sins, and come back in the fold, man. They're going to remember their that they are Israelites once again. All right?
That's like us. We were all strangers, man.
Right.
We were all, gonna buy these different bywords. Some of us calling ourselves blacks, right? Some of us calling, brothers, Jamaicans, Puerto Ricans, so on and so forth down the line. So we were all strangers to our nationality and to this truth. And then you have Bashna Shai or something. That's right.
Down verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
Right, so we're going to possess the other nations, man. They're going to be slaves onto us. All right, that's the future of you Edomites and you other nations, man. All right, you're going to be a perpetual slave in the kingdom of heaven. See, this good news, this gospel is only for the people on this side right here, man. It don't apply for the whole world, man. All right? You got these Christians, talking about the replacement theology and all that, Hey, where is that in the scriptures, man? Spiritual Israel, man. That don't exist, man. All right? When the Apostle Paul was speaking to the Jews in Rome, he said, matter of fact, get that Roman 9th chapter. We go into that, He was talking to the Israelites, man. Okay, that's why he said according to the flesh, man. It ain't about no spiritual Israel, man. That's man-made doctrine, man.
That's the point. That's the point.
Yeah, you start at the top.
Right. This is Romans 9, verse 1. It says, I say the truth in Hamashiach, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continued sorrow in mine heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen.
Right. So who's the Apostle Paul's brethren? All right. The Israelites, man. All right. According to the lineage of he's of the seed of Benjamin, the tribe of Benjamin.
Right here.
Okay.
This is Romans 11, verse 1. It says, I say then, have the Most High cast away his people? God forbid.
Right. Meaning the Lord, no, he didn't. All right. The Lord is still dealing with the nation of Israel, man. Right now, the elect. All right. Okay. So the Lord has not cast away his people. See, go ahead.
It says, for I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
Right. Of the tribe of Benjamin. He of the nation of Israel, man. Of the tribe of Benjamin, man. So the Apostle Paul was making it known, man. He was basically talking to those in Rome that are Jews, man. All right, he wasn't talking to the Romans, the actual Romans. He was talking about the actual Jews that were living in the Roman Empire at that time.
Yeah, because he's Benjamin's brethren.
Right.
The other tribes.
The other tribes.
Back in Romans 9 verse 4 it says, who are Israelites, to who pertaineth the adoption and the glory
Right.
and the covenants and the giving of the law and the promises, whose are the fathers of whom are concerned in the flesh.
Right. That's who the promises, the covenant, the adoption, all that is given on to these people on the side, man. All right. That's what it all comes down to. It didn't say to Moab. It didn't say to Ham. It didn't say to Ammon. All right. All these other nations, man. You see, so they don't have part. They don't have part in this, man. All right. They're out of the temple, man. You know. They're profane.
That's not real.
Oh, go ahead.
It says, not as though the word of the Most High had taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel.
Right, and that's talking about, you know, the 2/3, man. All right, not all, you know, of the stock of Abraham. I mean, we all from the stock of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but you got those that are of the elect, man. All right, the most God of the elect of the Most High, man. All right, not you know, because just because you're an Israelite, just because you come from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that doesn't mean that you're of the Lord's elect, man. So that's why the Lord made it. He made that separate the division, all right, to separate. Just like today, you got guys that claim to be men of the Lord, all right, but the Lord set them up to be false prophets, man. Okay, because the scripture said that the deceiver and the deceiver are his, man. All right, the Lord made certain men, all right, are just, you know, basically put over certain other men to deceive them, man. You know, that's why it's not all Israel is of Israel, man. You know, it's a different spirit out here, man. So you got to be careful of who you are listening to, man. You know.
And when the Apostle Paul said this in Galatians 6 and verse 15, it says, for in Hamashiach Yahushai, neither circumcision availeth anything nor uncircumcision, but a new creature, and as many as walk according to this rule, peace be on them and mercy, and upon the Israel of the Most High.
Right. And let you know right there, you know, it's the Israel of the Most High, which is the elect, man. Yeah. You know.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 2. A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord, even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of the Lord. An Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord, even to the 10th generation they shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever.
Right, and that's talking about those heathen nations, man. You know, Ammon being the so-called Japanese, what's it, Moab being the so-called Chinese, man. They're not a part of this thing, man. You know, the Lord made it known, man. And you got these Christians, man, these bugged out Christians, man. You know, they're all about, you know, salvation is for every nation, man. That's bullshit. That ain't in the scriptures, man. You know. Yeah, go to John 3:16, and they don't even understand the whole breakdown of the word world, man. All right, it's different meanings for the term world. Okay.
Going back into Romans 9 and verse 7, it says, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
Meaning that this thing ain't for all nations, man. You know, of that seed through Jacob and the offspring. All right, that's who the blessing is going to, man. You know, just because they're seeds, because we know that Abraham had 8 children, right? He had 8 children. He had 6 with Torah. He had Ishmael by Hagar, and he had Isaac by Sarah, you know. So we know that those other kids, you know, they're not a part of this thing, man. You know.
It reads on to say, that is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of the Most High, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
That's right. So they are of the flesh, man.
One seed.
And if you go to Galatians, what's that? I think 3:16.
Well, let's get it.
Let's get that real quick.
Yep. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 3, and verse 16. It says, "Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not, and to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Hamashiach."
That's right. Made it plain, man. Made it plain. Not to seeds with the S. You know?
Got a precept for you. This is Genesis 22, verse 1. It says, "And it came to pass after these things that the Most High did tempt Abraham and said unto him, Abraham. And he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, Take now thy son, thine only son, Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there upon the mountains, which I will tell thee of."
Right.
So the point was, he said his only son. We know that Ishmael, which was the eldest, which was 14 years older than Isaac, but the Most High excluded him. Because when Sarah seen Ishmael mocking, she said, "Look, get this son, get this woman and this son out of here, because he's not going to be heir with my son." And the Most High told Abraham, said, "Look, in this point, listen to Sarah, because I'm gonna bless Isaac, and the promise is gonna go to him." Ishmael was excluded. So the Most High specified, said, "Look," he said, "Take now thy son, thy only son." So even though he did come from the bowels of Abraham, and the Most High said, "Look, I'm gonna bless him because he's your son. I'm gonna bless him." You know what I'm saying? He's gonna become a great people. He's gonna beget 12 princes.
Right.
But he's not part of this.
Right. Put him aside.
He put him aside. All right. He put him aside. He's excluded.
Hey, just like the Lord done with Esau, man.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And this is 2 Ezra 3, verse 16. It says, "And unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee, and put by Esau."
And put by Esau. And there's a video of a so-called Jew saying that the children of Edom hates them because of the birthright, which they're playing games with people, because that don't apply to them.
Right.
Really, it's them that hate us. The other way around, vice versa. It's them that hate us because of the birthright, which was always meant for Jacob anyways. Jacob supplanted Esau, all right, from the blessing, but Esau willingly gave up his birthright. That's why it says there's no man profane. He despised his birthright. No man profane like Esau for one morsel of meat despised his birthright, because he came from hunting. He couldn't find it. He said, "Look," he said, "You want to eat? I got this thing cooking right here. You give me your birthright, and I'll feed you what I got." And what did he say? He said, "What good is my birthright if I'm about to die?"
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Shalom.
It shows you
The lack of integrity.
that Esau had, man. You know?
And lack of patience, too.
Lack of patience.
You
Lack
wanna
of
suffer, man.
lack of everything, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said the profane person
Yeah, man.
outside the temple. It said that he would have inherited the blessing, but he was rejected. So once he gave the birthright up, the blessing was gonna follow right behind the birthright. And it was told in the spirit, says what the elder shall serve the younger.
Oh, okay.
You need somebody?
Okay.
Okay. Good.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 1. "And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood saying, Rise and measure the temple of Yahweh."
Right, the temple of Yahweh is these people on the side, man. And we're measuring, the Lord is basically, through the angel, is measuring those that can measure up to this Bible, man. You know? Those that of the elect. Go ahead.
"And the altar and them that worship therein." Verse 2, "But the court
If I
which
may, real quick, like for instance, you just made a good point. For instance, you got the people in the land of Israel right now. They claim to be the tribe of Yahweh, right? The tribe of Judah. Now, when you go to Jeremiah 14:2, what does it say? It says Judah is black. during the morning they are black onto the ground, describing our pigmentation. So these Edomites, these Amalekites, these so-called Jews, they don't measure up to that one tribe. And there's various other scriptures, various other prophecies of the Bible that they don't measure up to. Even the fact that they're in the land right now,
How did they get it?
how did they get it? In 1948, you know, going into 1948, that wasn't the fulfillment of Bible prophecy, of the Lord bringing his people back into the land. So they don't measure up, man.
Even the fact of just going into slavery, man. This is a historical fact that the people of the Lord was going to go through slavery, man. When did that happen to the so-called Jews, man? So they don't measure up to the scriptures, man. Go ahead. That's right.
But the court which is without, leave out. Just like that. But the court which is without the temple, leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles.
Right, to the other heathen nations, man. Okay? They can't come into this thing, man. No matter however they try, man, it's not for them. You know?
Which that's the precept we brought out earlier about how a Moabite or an Ammonite or a bastard should not enter into the congregation until the 10th generation, man. Because they're not a part, they're going to be blessed in the kingdom because we're going to be ruling this world or this earth in righteousness. And so inherently, they're going to be blessed, but they're not the chosen people. They ain't the chosen people.
For it is given unto the Gentiles. For it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months.
That's good. You know, during the time of what was that? Slavery. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they be trotting down, man.
Still trotting down.
Still getting trotted down to this day. You know?
So I'm going to go back to this in Romans. Back in the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 8, it says, that is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of the Most High, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
Right, so we already clarified that it's given on to the chosen line, man. All right? Which are the Israelites. All right? So it's no way around it, man. There's no way around, you know, the fact that everything is you know, given unto us, man. The adoption, the covenants, both the old and new, okay? All right? Everything, man, is given unto us, man.
Hey, that's another thing they don't measure up to. They don't measure up to the New Testament when the Apostle Paul said that they shall be changed. Regarding the Israelites, they shall be changed within the twinkling of an eye.
Right.
These so-called Jews, they haven't been changed, man. They still die. They're still corrupt. There's still war on earth. So they don't measure up.
Where's King David?
Right. Where's King David, man?
Not no fucking prime minister, Netanyahu. Was that prime minister in the scriptures?
Right, exactly.
There's no prime minister in the scriptures.
Where's their outbreak of COVID-19, man?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
We ain't got to wear masks in the kingdom.
the prophecy of the green gospel, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
like-
We're in the kingdom of heaven, but we wearing masks. Yeah, man. You know?
That's a secular state. I mean, they have their own laws. They don't go by the laws of the Torah. They go by British law, American law, and some of the laws in the scripture. But you could have homosexuals over there.
Right.
I remember I was talking to this one Jewish guy I worked with. He was like, yo, Tel Aviv is just like New York City. You have women who could be walking the street 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and nothing would happen to them. You know what I mean? Half naked. He was like, yeah, it's just like New York City. You know what I mean?
They were talking of Tel Aviv. What they have a fucking annual gay parade in Tel Aviv, man. Where's that in the scriptures regarding?
Abomination. That's an abomination, man. You know, where are all the nations, you know, coming to the land of Israel, man? To seek
Right, that's not
the great understanding. You know, where's the nations flocking to that place, man?
Hey, where's the respect?
Right.
Where's the respect, man?
Everybody hates them.
So going back to Romans chapter 9 and verse 9, it says, for this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High according to election might stand.
Right. So this was already ordained, man. No matter, it wasn't about the works that these two individuals, you know, because the Lord said he made one vessel unto honor and another vessel unto dishonor. Okay? And it wasn't about what they did, you know what I'm saying? This was already ordained in the spirit that this was going to play out like this, man. Okay? So don't hate us, don't blame us, man. This is the Most High's movie, man. You know? The Most High set it up that way for us to be his people and for you so-called so-called white people, you Edomites, to be the wicked, man.
And there's nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah.
And this is the book of Sirach.
I'm just glad I ain't an Edomite,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We landed the jackpot, man.
That's it.
We landed the jackpot straight up. This is the lottery, and we landed the jackpot,
That's
man.
right.
The lot fell on us.
Fell on us, man. You know?
Alright, this is the book of Sirach 33, and verse 10. It says, "And all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth. In much knowledge, the Lord has divided them and made their ways diverse." You know, going into the nations and their customs, their nature, them as a people. It says, "Some of them have he blessed and exalted, and some of them have he sanctified," which that's where you get the word saints from, pertaining on to our people, because the Lord sanctified us by giving us his laws, statutes, and commandments, man. So he separated us and cleaned us up, man. It says, and set near himself, but some of them have he cursed and brought low and turned out their places.
Right. You know, hey, the Lord separated us from the heathens, man. Just like I forgot what scripture it is. You know, the Lord has a favorite of everything. You know, he has a favorite flower, which is the lily. You know, a favorite bird, which is the dove.
A favorite plot of land.
Favorite plot of land, which is the land of Israel. You know, and we're his people. We're his favorite people, man. You know.
Oh, he has a favorite Israelite.
Right.
Yahweh Shai.
Mm-hmm.
That's his main man. That's his right hand man. That's his son.
That's his son. His only begotten son. You know.
This is the book of
That was
Deuteronomy.
it on that? A little more.
A little bit. That's it. That's
it on that. All right.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 6. Keep therefore unto them, for this is your wisdom. I'll start at verse 5. Verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgment, even as the Lord my power commanded me, that ye shall do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Keep therefore unto them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Right, and this is what separated us from the nations, man. You know, because the nations will look at us like, damn, you know, these people, you know, they're a righteous set of people, man. You know, because of the Lord's statutes and commandments. That's what made us righteous, man. But when we started going off and following the ways of the heathens, the Lord punished us, man. You know, the Lord removed his name from us. He had these other nations rule over us. That's what the book of Judges is about. You know, the different captivities that we went in under. But this is what made us separate from the other nations, man. Because we were given the Lord's statutes and commandments, man. This is what made us righteous in the eyes of the other nations.
Keep therefore unto them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
That's wise and understanding people, man. And sometimes, like when you out and about, and you know, sometimes you got these heathens, man. They don't go to other heathens. They go to Jake. Always they go to Jake. Oh, where can I find this? And they always like, you know what I'm saying? Because Jake just have that aura. You know what I'm saying? They not going to the other, you know what I'm saying? Going to the other way. They going to Jake. Like, yo, where can I find this? And how can I get over here? And always asking questions to Jake, man, because it's something in their spirit. They know where the rulers, man. We're the rulers of the planet Earth, man. You know?
Peculiar people.
Yeah.
Right, so back in Romans again. Right, back in Romans 9 and verse 11, it says, "For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth.
Right. So it wasn't of any works that the two twin boys have done, Jacob and Esau. This was already ordained in the spirit, man, that this was going to happen. You know, the elder shall serve the younger. That's it. You know, you can't get mad at us, man. This is what it is, man. This is the Most High's movie. You know?
It's just, you know, Lord would be those men. It's like us, the hopeful elect amongst the nation of Israel. The Lord has sanctified a small portion to be delivered, and the rest are going to be destroyed. That's where you get the 2/3 from, man. 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. That's not of us. We're not going to make it on the chariots off of our works. It's because the Lord chose us to be those men. No, that's
him showing favoritism. Exactly. He's showing favoritism to a certain remnant. He didn't do that to the whole nation. Right. He did it to a small remnant, man.
Now it reads on to say, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger.
Right. It was said unto Rebecca that the eldest child, which is Esau, all right, the so-called white man, gets 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. Yeah. You know that the eldest, which is Esau, he's going to serve the younger brother, man, which is Jacob, which is the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans today. All right, and this is going to happen, whether you people believe it or not. These people that you see that's ruling right now, they're going to be our servants and our slaves in the kingdom of heaven, man. This is what this gospel is about. This is what this Bible is about.
That's right. You got a lot of people, they wasting their time believing in the scriptures when you're not part of this. You got actual heathens that go to church more religiously than actual Israelites. Yeah. Reading the Bible, praying to Jesus, or what they think that Jesus is. But they don't understand that you like the scripture said, what it says, if you curse Satan, you curse your own soul. Really, if you're an Edomite and you have these other nations, you better just live it to the best of your ability, man. Live this life to the best of your ability, because
there's no salvation.
There's no salvation for you. In the world to come, you're going to suffer. So what's the point of you pretending to be righteous, because deep down inside, you're not following what the Most High really truly set up. So you might as well just be the best devil that you could be now, because the world to come, you're going to went to church every Sunday since the day you was born. The Most High is going to judge you just as harsh as he judges the elites who are being straight up devils.
And that's why he said in Jeremiah, Lamentations 4, rejoice and be glad over you of Edom.
That's right.
Because now's the time to live up. Like the elder said, man, now's the time to do your thing, what you're doing at the beginning of your elite. But even down into the average day cracker, it's like, this is your time to, like, live it up.
You better live it up.
Yeah, man.
You got some crackers that, they want to come against the elites, man. You're supposed to be mad at them because they
ain't piece you off.
They ain't piece you off. You know what I'm saying? They ain't share that pie with you. You know what I'm saying? That money. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, you're gonna be a loser now. You're gonna be a loser on this side and a loser in the kingdom of heaven. Man. Get your ass kicked. See? Yeah.
Back in Romans, do you have something?
That's Second Ezra 6.
Yeah.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6. I'll start at verse 6. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other. Talking about the Most High, right? Then verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting of sunder of times, or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it and follow it?
Right, the end of this kingdom, all right? End of this age of Esau ruling, all right?
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Which is symbolic to show you that Jacob is going to be the one to literally take down this devil, man. So with great violence, the Satan shall take the kingdom. And then it said,
Daniel 4:17.
Yeah, with great violence, the city of Babylon.
That's Revelation 8.
Yes. So that was symbolic. So you see Jacob pulling down the heel of Esau, man. Yeah.
For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob
is the beginning of it, I follow it.
Right, we're clearly at the end, man. You got so much information going on about the mark of the beast technology, which is the RFID microchip. We know we're at the end, man. There's so many things happening, man. We're hearing rumors of war, you know. World War III is evident. So we clearly at the end. So who's ruling right now? Shows you right now that it's the Edomites, man. Esau is ruling right now, man. They're the wicked, according to Job 9 and 24, Malachi, the first chapter, that they're the wicked, man. See? All right? So we already know through the process of elimination that it's only one people that has to be the Edomites, and it's the so-called white man. You know?
Yeah, which that goes back to his blessing. When you go back to Genesis 27, it was said that Esau, one of his blessings that he's going to have fatness of the earth. No other nation was given that except for, given that blessing except for Jacob and Esau. So Esau is clearly in power right now, and he has power over the whole earth. That's why over here in America, he's got like over 800 embassies. Not embassies, over 800 military bases around the world, man. Which that shows his power over the world, over the globe right now, man.
That's right.
So Esau is clearly ruling right now, man. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
That's right.
Yeah, that was it. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob at the beginning of it that follow it.
Right, Jacob is the beginning of it that follows, man. Jacob is the Israelites, man. Meaning you're going to be the next rulers in powers. It ain't going to be the Russians. It's not going to be the Chinese.
Yep.
You know? Then, listen, it tells you in Daniel, the second chapter, the brother will get it, that the feet, when that, all right,
This is
that's
Daniel.
gonna be the last kingdom.
Yep. This is Daniel 2 verse 44. It says, and in the days of these kings shall the most. Well, let me start from verse 42. It says Daniel 2 verse 42. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay,
which is talking about the EU. All right, you're gonna have some stronger nations and some weaker nations. All right, and they're gonna be divided against each other.
it says, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another.
Right. It's gonna be friction against one another. These nations are gonna be, against one another. Okay.
It says, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. And in the days of these kings shall the Most High Yahweh, by Shem Shai of heaven, set up a kingdom.
Right, which is the kingdom of heaven, man. Let you know, then you only spoke on 4 beasts, 4 kingdoms to rule. All right, which is the Babylonians, the Persians, the Medes, the Greeks, and the Romans, man. And right now we're in the extension of the Roman Empire, man. This is the modern day Roman Empire, America. All right. So after America goes down, then the kingdom of heaven is going to be established on earth. Okay.
And furthermore, right now, the kingdom of heaven is being established through the men,
Right.
through these different camps. Because what did our Lord say?
The kingdom of heaven starts within
There
you.
you go, bro. The kingdom of heaven starts. It's within you.
Yeah, those say low there or
Yeah,
low
there you
here,
go.
for
Yeah.
the kingdom of heaven is within you, which is the people.
Yeah.
It begins with the people. It begins with the word that's within the people.
Exactly.
That's right.
Which everybody's not invited, man, to the kingdom of heaven. Which all nations are gonna be there, but it's what capacity you're gonna be in the kingdom at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be rulers. Like you could pray to Jesus all you want. If you're not a Hebrew Israelite, you're not gonna be a ruler in the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
You're not gonna be a ruler.
Yeah, because every kingdom you have people that are that's going to be kings and rulers, and then you're going to be ones that are subject unto those kings and rulers. Okay? You gotta go there. There's the hierarchy. So every kingdom, that's how it is, man. You know, you got those that are in power, and you got those that are subjected onto those powers, man. And right now we're subjected onto Esau, man. See?
You got rulers and you got peasants.
Yeah, that's
That's why when they asked about Yahweh, they asked Yahweh Shah about the whole taxes thing. Yahweh Shah said, look, for the money.
That's right. Yeah.
So they said, oh, Caesar's on it. He said, well, give unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, man. That's the reason why we pay taxes today. You know? Taxes ain't even, it's not even whether it's voluntary or involuntary. They just take that shit out your check.
Right.
They take it, just grab, snatch it out.
Yeah.
You know? That's called, in the scriptures, it's called tribute. The scriptures also speak about taxes. And when you get into the Apocrypha and stuff, it'll tell you about taxes, you know? But tribute is what you pay unto the royals, man, which is what these heathens are going to pay unto us in the kingdom, man. They're going to pay tribute unto us, man. Tithes and what, 10%? They're going to give it up unto us.
That's right. That's right.
And what's heavy about it is that Yahweh Shai knew back then that it wasn't his time to rule. It wasn't his time for Israel to rule. That's why the Apostle said,
Yahweh Shai
hold him now,
Actually,
let the be taken out of the way. Right now he's getting taken out of the way. With this word. And then when the brightness of his coming, that's when he's going to be taken out of the way physically, man.
If I can say this, man, when you go down to a lot of them Jake countries, whether you go to them West Indian islands or even South America, who you see on the money, you see Edomites, man. You see the Queen of England on the money. But these are supposed to be independent countries. But they have the Queen of England on the money, they have the Edomites on the money. Showing you that Edomites still run those countries, man. It ain't no Jakes running those countries, man. Edomites. That's who was in power.
Yeah. Get Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, Mount Rushmore set up on people.
Yeah, all these statues around. Yeah. They show Edomite dominance everywhere. Look. The names of the streets.
Lincoln Memorial, those little statues that set up. Christopher Columbus. Matter of fact, the other day they done fucking poured paint on that shit. You know, they poured paint on this shit. Again, you know, it's a constant reminder that we're being oppressed. That's what it's saying. You know?
Yeah.
Constant reminder, nigga, you just a bunch of niggas, man.
And especially over here in America, man. Down on 81st Street, on the west side by Central Park Road, by the museum, they got Theodore Roosevelt on the horse. You got Yahweh down to the right, and then you got Guy to the left.
Constant reminder, man. Constant reminder, man, to show you that these people on the side, all right, Judah all the way down to Issachar, man, that we're enslaved, man. So we're basically under the so.
We're being oppressed together.
Oh, Jeremiah.
Oh, this is the prophecy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, this is back in Daniel 2, verse 44. It says, and in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
So that cuts the other nations out of the loop. It said the kingdom should not be left to other people. So all this thing about joint rulership, all the nations come together under this one banner. Yeah, Genesis the 10th chapter, they tried that. You go into the Maccabees, they tried that. Nimrod tried it first. Also, you go into Antiochus, he said that he wanted all people to become one people, forsake the laws of their gods, and worship him, you know what I'm saying, that way of living. And they're trying again, so it's gonna fail. You got plenty of examples of trying to bring all nations into one banner. It never worked, because the Most High never set it up like that. He set up individual nations, and out of all the individual nations, Israel was set up to be the top nation. So it says the kingdom shall not be left to other people. So you other nations, we're not gonna have a Hamite diplomat in the kingdom of heaven, or a Moabite diplomat. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna have none of that, man. There's gonna be what, kings and slaves. That's what it's gonna be. That's why Esau's trying to set up with his new world order. He's trying to set up the super rich and the super poor. In the kingdom of heaven, that's how it's gonna be. You're gonna have the monarchy of the Israelites. That's why it's get Revelation 2. Was it first chapter or second chapter? It says shall be a kingdom of priests. No, first chapter. First, like around the fifth verse, fifth verse. So it's gonna be a monarchy of Israel. That's why I said, read it. You got it?
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 6. And had made us kings and priests unto Yahweh.
Right, have made us kings and priests unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So in the kingdom of heaven, you're going to have the Israelites, then you're going to have the other nations. It says in Revelation, what, 12? It says, dead live not again until the 1,000 years be fulfilled. 20. So yeah, the dead live not again, which the dead represents these other nations. So after 1,000 years, that's when they're going to be able to really go back to actually living without severe, without a yoke. That's a better word. Without a yoke, without a severe yoke. All right, they're gonna have to pay tribute, but now most of us say, okay, go enjoy life. But you're gonna be under the jurisdiction of the Israelites.
Because they got to build up our kingdom, man.
Isaiah 60.
Isaiah 60.
Yeah.
They got to build up our kingdom, man. Because the same way how we had to build up, their society, same way, man.
That's right. So it says, the sons of strangers shall build up that wall, and you're gonna build it up peacefully, man. You're gonna build it up at a crack of a whip, man. And that's why it says in Ezekiel that Most High said we're gonna do according to His anger. Not according to our anger, we're gonna do according to the Most High's anger, man. And it's gonna be vicious, man. We're not gonna deal like back in a couple of years ago, what, about 5, 6, 7 years ago. One cat said that, well, we're gonna deal gently with these other nations. That's not how it's gonna be, man. They're gonna pay for everything that they've done to us, man. Now you see all these shootings keep happening, all right? And our people deserve this shit. Because the Most High, Hosea 5 and 15. The Most High said He's gonna afflict these people until they acknowledge that you're the one at fault. My brother showed me some video of some cat in the bathroom in some school. You know what I'm saying? So the cops is there in the bathroom. And when the cops start pulling him out, he's like, all right, my bad. And he must have did some odd movement, and the cops shot him and killed him. But you gotta understand, as so-called black men or minority men, you gotta understand when dealing with the cops, there's already a sense of fear towards you. You know what I'm saying? You could be the smallest Jake out there. You could be fucking 4'11", Gary Coleman size, man, and the cops will treat you like you're a fucking giant, man. So you gotta understand that, and he had to do something wrong because he said my bad. When they was pulling him out the stall, the bad was like, all right, my bad. And then they end up airing him out. You know what I'm saying? Killed him dead. Then you got the chick that got shot, when you mentioned it. The chick that got shot at front of her crib because she had a knife. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand when dealing with the cops and you're a minority, the mentality is to kill.
Because that fear goes back to them through slavery.
That's right.
They know in their spirit.
They're guilty of something.
That no. It's going to be retribution
right.
on us, on our part. Then we're going to bring them back in the cycle.
Right.
One day, they're going to have to pay for that. You know what I'm saying?
They want to stop that.
That's the thing. And that's where the fear drives from.
Because they do. Day, like any Edomite that's dealing with reality know, like, look, we done fucked these people over. And they have every right to attack us. So they things like, look, let's be defensive first. If they're acting belligerent, they say, well, this is because of all the shit that we done did to us, so we gotta defend ourselves. But they don't. Our people don't think like that, man.
They don't know they have enemies. That's
exactly. That's why scripture get that in the pocket, but never trust that enemy.
Hosea 5 and 15.
Yeah.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 5.
And every day it seems like it's to the point like, yo, you can't even keep count of the shootings, man. You would think that after the whole fucking the George Floyd bullshit, who knows how real that is? You know what I'm saying? But then you got the shit on video. The lady getting shot at, the 15-year-old, was 16 years old, 15? All right, she was a woman, all right? She wasn't no fucking child. She was a fucking woman. She was old enough to fucking brandish a knife, and she wasn't no little girl. Right, that was a woman that got aired out because you're a target, man. You gotta understand that. The kid in the bathroom. You gotta understand that, like, yo, when dealing with the cops, you gotta be cool, man. Now you could be a so-called Negro that looks Spanish or not Spanish, look white, then you might be a little bit alright. But if you look like a so-called black man, you gotta know that when the cops approach you, you have to present yourself in a certain way because their first thing is to kill you. There ain't no such thing as wounding you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because they go to target practice, man. They don't teach them to shoot you in the foot, shoot you in the shoulder. They go straight for the center of your chest. They go straight to kill you. Because why? Because you're the enemy. There's plenty of videos showing you white privilege with Edomites trying to attack cops, and cops backing up, cops pulling tasers out. You know what I'm saying? The Spanish kid over there, I think it was in Texas, Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago.
Was that the lady? No, not the 13-year-old. There's a man in the car. The dude in the car. The dude in the car, and the woman said, "Oh my gosh, I shot him."
Pulled the gun.
You know what I'm saying? That was Minnesota. So you have all these different situations dealing with minorities. When you're dealing with the people of the nation, they don't suffer like that, man. Like this whole thing about Moabites being attacked or Chinese people being attacked because of this whole COVID and anti-Asian bullshit. It's all bullshit. Like the brother said, it's all bullshit,
That's a
man.
narrative the media is
It's
trying
all
to paint.
bullshit, bro. Because that's the case. Then, if that's the case, they'll be getting shot. Since 9/11 happened, how many Arabs have been shot in America? And they was portrayed as a fucking terrorist, bro. From 9/11 to now, 2021, not one. You can't name one Arab that's been fucking shot by the cops out of fear.
And then it goes back to the curses. The Lord said that thy life.
I got it right here.
Yeah, shot hand and death. That's right.
Let me bring it out real quick. That's what I want. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 65. It says, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
So even the Israelite foreigners in these other countries, they're still suffering. They may look like the other nations, right? They may have to look, but guess what? They in a position like over here in America, over here in the West Indies, over here in fucking Brazil, South America. You got fucking Central America. They're in the same state. They're in the same exact state. Because you go to these other Latin American countries, they're not ruling their country. They're not ruling their country. You got the fucking white man over there ruling their country. And the ones that do try to govern their country, they're sold out. And they sell their people out. But for the most part, the white man's in control, man.
The
The
white man would kill him.
The white man will kill him.
Like Chavez, Hugo Chavez.
Yeah.
He was building up when Venezuela was under him, man. Venezuela was one of the most prosperous nations in Latin America, if not the most prosperous, because they have the most oil in the world, man. The most oil reserves, Venezuela.
That's right.
And that's why they gave him cancer, injected him with cancer, and he's dead, man. And then that country's in chaos, man. That's one of the worst places in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
It reads on, it says, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind.
That's why people, depression. Sorrow of mind, depression. Our people, it was on Hot 97 on the Breakfast Club. Charlemagne the God was talking about the mental illness, mental health, and of so-called black people. Which is true, that's in the scriptures. Our people are not dealing with a full deck, bro.
PTSD.
Yeah.
PTSD.
Yeah, from slavery, from fucking lynching, from living in the hood, which is true. Which is true. That shit changes your mind. And we brought it out last week. Surely oppression will make a wise man mad.
Even the Stockholm syndrome. That's a part of
Stockholm syndrome. Yep. So our people, they're under a state that they're looking for relief. Get Hebrews 4 chapter. As a nation, we're looking for rest. You know what I'm saying? And what's that dude that played in Get Out? He played in Get Out. No matter of fact, the latest movie he did, he played Judas in the Black Messiah.
Daniel, I forgot his name.
The one that played the snitch.
Yeah.
And here's a video of him talking.
Okay. All right.
Not the main
Not
dude,
the main
because he from
He went West
That's
Africa.
called.
he's from West Africa. Not him, the other dude,
Lakeith Stansfield.
Lakeith Stanfield. And here's a
Yeah,
video.
He said while he's playing, he was getting prepared for that role. He suffered from a lot of stress.
He did.
Mentally.
He had to go to therapy.
Yeah.
And there's an interview of him saying, look, when dealing with white people, he said, look, we just want to be left alone.
That's it.
He said, that's all we want. We don't want you to say apology. He said, look, we just want to be left alone. But he's not dealing with reality. Esau will never leave you alone. Because your prosperity means his downfall. And white people understand that shit. They understand that for you to be prosperous, that means they gotta be put low. And they're gonna do everything in their power to keep you from that. But they can't stop it. That's what the truth is set up for. Go ahead.
I got a little more. It says, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee.
And that's why you see who's getting shot in the news. Israelites. Black Israelites at that. You do have Latin tribes that get shot, but mostly Jake that's getting popped up. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the time they cause the shit. See, niggas don't want to deal with the fact that, look, you know how these devils operate. The script, get that in Matthew, said what? Agree with that adversaries quickly, man. So he's in the bathroom acting a fool, and then as soon as they grab him, he wants to say, oh, my bad, my bad. So right there, you admit to guilt. You admitted that you was guilty of something. And then now, was it warranted the extremes that they went to killing them? No. Because we only seen the body cam video. We don't know if he went to grab something. We don't know. We just see that the cops just start shooting and the dude's dead. You know what I'm saying? You gotta use your fucking mind, man. And you get like, yo, what do you tell a kid? Like, you got a young kid that's quote unquote black. What do you tell him? You tell him, look, when you deal with these cops, yo, look, always present your hands so that they don't think that you don't make no sudden movements, because they already on edge, man. You could be like the 12-year-old kid, Tamir Rice. Dude's 12 years old. The cop rolled up. They didn't say stop, freeze, pause, nothing. Simon says he just rolled up, came out the door, and just started shooting and killed the kid, 12 years old. Come on, you got these little white kids doing all type of crazy shit in the streets. And there's white people I work with said, look, when we was kids, we did shit. All they did was came and pick us up from the precinct. They didn't process them like how Jake get processed. Jay, you go through the system, they trying to railroad you, man. You finish. Go ahead.
I got a little quick. It says, and thy light shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life.
And shall have no assurance of that life. So you don't know if you're gonna live or die. The valley of the shadow of death. Right? That's why Jake, the sirens go off and the cops pull you over. Your fucking heart rate. Like, you got these watches that check your shit now, right? Every time Jake pull over, check it. See what happens. Your shit just start pounding. And even when you know, then wait a minute. Why am I getting? I'm not even doing nothing. What am I getting fucking excited for? You're not even doing nothing. You know damn well you ain't no criminal. You got an honest job. You know what I'm saying? You abide by Esau's bullshit laws. So why? But it's a stigma of being approached by the damn cops.
Slave patrol.
Slave patrol. Basically, that's what it is. Basically, that's exactly what it is, slave patrol. And there's an Edomite cop that said it. He said, look, white people getting approached by cops on the traffic stop, and black people do different things. He said when they approach white people, they treat white people with a certain respect of freedom. Like, look, this is your country, it's like it's my country. You deal with black people, they treat, look, nigga, you still a slave, even though we allow you to think that you're free. You know what I'm saying? Presenting your idea goes back to your slave papers. You pull out your paper and you hand it to the day. Where you going? You pull it out and say, look, I'm going such and such place for my master.
If you didn't have it.
That's why crackers, ask any crackers, when the cops pull them off, do they ever ask white people where you going? They never ask white people where you going. They never ask them where they're going. But every time they pull Jake over, they always ask you, where you going? Why? Because that goes back to slavery, man.
If you're in a nice neighborhood, do you live around here? Or do you live out?
Yeah, exactly. Do you live around here?
It was a Jake like that. This military cop.
Oh, yeah.
In the neighborhood somewhere, dude was walking down the street. Dude started harassing him. Where you going? What are you doing here? Where do you live? Where's your house? You know?
I'm your next door neighbor.
You know the whole Karen spirit. That thing where they question you where you going or where you from and all that, man. What you Edomites fail to realize is that you got a lot of Jakes that are doing a whole lot better than y'all are.
And that's what they don't like.
Jake be busting their ass and making money. You know? Jake be doing that. Whether Jake got to go to your school systems, it's more shit, man. People that got into Harvard, Ivy League schools, I'm talking legitimately, they're more so minorities. Because they're the ones that's really busting their asses to get in there, to be accepted. It came out, these Edomites, they paying off fucking, schools to let their children go to the schools, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the lady, was she an actress or something like that?
Yeah,
She paid off the school to let her daughter attend.
Full House.
Yeah. But if that was a Jake, they would have got all kind of time. What she got?
She got 4 years of Jake. The Jake?
She got 6 months.
Oh, she got 6 months?
And they
So
let her
it's 4
choose
years.
where she wanted to fucking go to prison at, man.
Oh, you talking about the white bitch?
Yeah.
But the Jake lady, they gave her like 4 years.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. You know?
They gave her like fucking 4 years.
They
For
gave her
sending
4
a
years.
child, but changing her area code for a kid. Not even for a grown fucking woman or grown man, for a kid. They gave a fucking jail time for that
So
shit.
to show you, man. And she's sitting up there like they tell her like, damn, you in here for that? Damn.
Because why? Oh, minorities get more subsidiaries and that shit. They should, because they had a disadvantage. Why shouldn't they get fucking little perks for fucking your slavery?
And really, when you check it out, affirmative action benefits white women the most, man. Because under the affirmative action law, woman is classified as a
minority.
group.
Yeah.
And so white women benefit the most from that, man. Because they're classified as a minority.
When you go into the welfare offices, who the people you see up there the most, man? You see
Women.
the so-called Jew. All right? Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. You see the so-called Jew. And guess what? They all hooked up. They all hooked up. They know they coming. All right, when you come to this line. So somebody, they don't stand online.
They go around the back.
They don't stand online,
They
man.
don't stand online.
You know, Jake got you sitting there for 3, 4, 5 hours. You know, waiting to get your application in, waiting to get some stamps or something like that, man. You know, them Amalekites will come up in there, you know, with all that black on, they'll come up in there and go right to another Amalekite and get them in and out. You see what I'm saying, man? This is their society, man. This is their world.
That's what it belongs to. They only belong to white, quote-unquote, Americans. White Americans, this ain't your country. This ain't black people's country. This ain't Native American country. Even though so-called Jews are white people, or so-called white people, they Edomites, but this is their fucking country, man. They get the most perks out of everybody in this fucking place, man. Like the that's why with the Ku Klux Klan, you can't be Jewish and join that shit. You can't be Italian and join that shit. You gotta be a so-called, quote-unquote, purebred white American.
One of them Kid Rock.
Which they come from fucking England anyways, man. You know what I'm saying? You ask them where they come from, where you come from. How did your people get to this land? Where did they come from to take over this land? So-called, you know what I'm saying? Because the real Anglo-Saxon are black people, so-called black people.
You look up the word Saxon, it really means one who fight with knives. You know? That's a Jake thing, you know? Knife fighting and all that stuff. When you look up the world's greatest swordsman, it was actually a Levite Jake. That book, Nature Knows No Color Lines, brought that out. According at that particular time when it was written, it was a Levite Jake that was known as the greatest swordsman that the world has ever seen. When you go into the scriptures to tell you about Levi, how Levi used to, when Moses said, look, if you on the Lord's side, you know, stand here with your sword and go in and slaughter. And they went up in there and started killing certain Jakes that was into that idolatry. You see what I'm saying? Jake is great, man.
That's right. Esau's deception, you know what I'm saying? These crackers, especially young cracker, they walk around with a false sense of pride. That's why I get that say we should not be reckoned amongst the nations. Because the reason they've egotistical because the history is in their favor. History is written by the winners. You can write whatever the fuck you want to write, and put yourself in a positive light. And that's why these Edomites, if you tell them that Beethoven was black, you tell them that Mozart was black, Aristotle was black, King James was black, King Arthur, all these different stories that you read about, they were black people. They'll look at you, oh, y'all trying to make everybody black. It's not that we're trying to make everybody black. The question you should ask is,
trying to make everybody white.
Exactly, y'all trying to make everybody white.
Great people in history will with Negroes.
That's right. Esau don't got too much positive history, man. That's why they got people under the impression that this world is over trillions of years old, and all the cave and all that nonsense, man. It's all madness, man. The earth, it tells you, even they know it, the real leaders, they know the history of man only go back 5,000 years. That's not a lot of time, man. 5,000 years is not a lot of time compared to how they try to portray billions and trillions of light years and all that nonsense, man. Like they had a thing, they landed some shit on Mars, allegedly. That's just all bullshit. You can't have me believe that shit, man. Huh?
That shit was in Australia or Canada, I heard.
That they landed it?
Yeah, it was like some fucking desert in Canada. Somebody was on a comment board. Is it just me or is this Canada? You know?
Yeah, that shit didn't seem right. I know that's some straight up bullshit. They landed some shit on Mars, but this is a game that they play with people, man. It's all lies, man.
But people eat it up, bro.
People eat it up. Your physicians know values. They say he's a liar. He's a liar and the father of it.
That's why you watch
John 8:44.
You watch their movies. They always the good guys in the movie, man.
Mm-hmm.
But man, really, they the good guys and the bad guys,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, everyone.
You know, you
Yeah,
want to be
everybody.
everybody. You watch a movie, you see the Lord portrayed as a so-called white man. Then you watch a movie and see Satan portrayed as a white man. You watch The Omen, who's Damien? A fucking little Edomite kid. If Negroes were so bad, wouldn't Damien be a Jake?
Yeah.
Something like that? You
With Afro puffs.
know what I'm saying? It's all madness, man.
And you know it's funny, they never made a movie about Jacob and Esau, like blatant.
Right.
You got this asshole, what's his dude name? Mel Gibson. He's supposed to be doing something on the Maccabees.
Oh yeah.
That's what they said. He did Passion of the Christ. All right. Well, he did 2 of them, right?
He's looking to do the next one.
He's looking to do the next one. All right. But tell him to do something on Jacob and Esau.
Right.
They're gonna put him as
Watch out. Wouldn't you? They'll put Jacob. I bet you put Esau as an Arab or some crazy shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
just 2 Edomites.
Or
Just-
Hawaiian.
Or to Hawaiian. They're gonna mix it up. Cause they won't show you straight up. Like, wait a minute. When you go into the history of the scriptures, when you deal with Moses, it said Moses put his hand into his bosom and say he pulled it out. It said his hand turned white.
And they don't even show you that in them.
And 10 Commandments.
They don't show you that.
They don't show you that. They just completely skip over that shit. Because why? Now, how do you explain that to people who've been taught
Right.
that Moses was a white man? So you telling me the Egyptians put out a decree to kill all babies, and this little white baby's gonna float down the river,
Nobody saw him.
and then the nobody saw him. Then they're gonna take him and bring him to Pharaoh's house, and he's not gonna look like, wait a minute, this is one of the Hebrew babies.
Right.
It's all
Yeah,
bullshit.
that's
It's all bullshit, man.
And it's funny, in that same movie, they showed the Canaanites as having dark skin.
They did. Nubians, they showed
Yeah,
Nubians,
bro.
yeah, they showed Canaanites.
Yeah.
Them Africans can be dark, but just not the Israelites.
Yeah, everybody could be, yeah.
dark, but just not them. Just not them.
But shit, they say they come from Canaan, right?
Yeah, right. They say that's right. But when you go in the scriptures, what did it tell you, man? In the beginning, after the flood, there was no white people on the earth. Period.
Right.
See, they don't want to accept that fact. After the flood, now when Cain was cursed with leprosy, now it might have been that his kids came out looking like him. We don't know. We don't know if it was just him, and then he dealt with the women of color back then. They came out color, or maybe all his seed after him came out looking like the way he did. You know what I'm saying? But that line was fucking wiped out, and then it came back as Esau. That's when Esau is literally the first recorded after the flood. The first recorded white person, or so-called white person, is Esau. That's the first fucking Edomite on earth. After that, prior to that, it was all fucking people of color. So I couldn't look at you and like, yo, you fucking black person, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't make any sense. Because y'all all was different shades of fucking brown. So how do people separate each other from? Their culture, man. You read it earlier, Deuteronomy 4 and 6.
That's why when Isaac seen Esau, he thought he was dead.
He said, waste.
Ashashua.
He said, what is this?
He said, wasted away to see. He looked at him, probably staying there. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? You know, he was all pale and fucking like, what the hell is this? Compared to now, at that time, you think he was well favored amongst the other people? All the other kids looking at him like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with your son, man? This nigga, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe,
You know, kids are the same way they are now that they were fucking back then. They go talk shit.
Isaac felt sorry for him. That's why he favored him.
It's called
Yeah.
unconditional love.
Uncle
Yeah,
Dad.
he felt sorry for him because the way he looked.
He said, yo, my son is a fucking mutant, man.
Listen,
Boy,
this is the book of Numbers, chapter 23, verse 9. For from the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him. Lo, the people shall dwell alone, and shall not be reckoned among the nations.
Shall not be reckoned among the nations. Recognized. That's what it means. So you go amongst other nations, they don't reckon you as a fucking, as an Israelite, as an Israelite. They reckon you from whatever land that you in. Whatever land you come from, that's what they're gonna, or accent, whatever, however you speak and what land you come from, that's what they're gonna acknowledge you as. Now you tell them that you're Israelite, they're looking at you like, alright. But they could bring a bunch of Chinese, the so-called Jews bring a bunch of Chinese people way back saying that there was a tribe of Manasseh. You had a whole bunch of Chinese people going into the land of Israel, but nobody questioned that. Said, wait a minute, we can't be Israelites, but these so-called Jews could bring a whole different ethnicity into the land and accept them as the tribe of Manasseh.
Even them Cushites too.
Right, the Cushites, the Philashian Jews.
Falasha means false.
Yeah.
I knew a chick named Falasha. I met her on a whim. She was like, so what's your name? What's your name, baby? Falasha. My first thing, oh, like the Jews? She was like, yeah. Nobody ever said that to me. I was like, see, I'm special, right? You know? But it just goes to show you, Jake, then you name your kids after these false, bogus people, man.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, we Jews, but we not no Falasha Jews. We the true Jews. We go into, what's that, 2 Kings, the 17th chapter. It gives you the whole rundown on how Samaria was turned into a playground of heathens, pretending like they was Israelites, man. You know?
Which that woman at the well goes back to them. So she wasn't no Israelite. That's why Yahusha said neither in this mountain or the next you gonna worship the Most High. Yeah, he's like, yeah, you ain't one of us. You a fucking heathen, man. That's why when the woman, the Syrophoenician, the Lord had mercy because she was an Israelite. She was a Syrophoenician, but she really was an Israelite. So the Lord like, look, I haven't seen this type of faith, not even in Israel. But the woman at the well said, look, you can step. You can step. You ain't part of this. Salvation of the Jews. He made it plain to them. Now when she went back and told them cats over there in Samaria, those were Israelites. The men that came back, those were Israelites. Said, look, we don't believe you because what you said. We believe because we heard the man speak himself. Which really it was for them. That's why Yahushua even interacted with her in the first place. Go ahead.
Right, this is Deuteronomy 32 and verse 26. It says, I said I will scatter them into corners. I will make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
I'll scatter them. All right, that goes into the prophecy, the curses of us being pushed into the four winds of the earth and we being amongst every other nations. And the least likely place on this earth, you'll find an Israelite dead. Because our people travel. Not just now and just now in the ancient world. When you go into the book of Ruth, Naomi and her family traveled because of the famine in the land of Israel, and they went into the land of Moab. So you think she was the only one that traveled? You go in the book of Nehemiah. They say, look, they made a pledge, look, we're going to separate ourselves from our wives that we took, the strange wives, and from the children. Those children were still Israelites, but guess what? They were separated from their children, and their children went back with their moms to whatever land they came from. Guess what? The men, guess what? They had children. If they had sons, that line was continued. So our people scattered throughout the whole entire planet, man.
Acts 8, the Ethiopian eunuch.
Which was an Israelite. Even if you go, it's also in the book of Jeremiah is another Ethiopian eunuch in the book of Jeremiah. He probably was an Israelite too, because he helped Jeremiah out, man. Because they had Jeremiah in the dungeon, in the pit, in the water, you know what I'm saying? And he helped get him out of there. Go ahead.
I got some real quick. This is Acts 2 and verse 5. It says, and they were dwelling at Jerusalem, Jews.
Like, all right, speaking of the devils, it was bringing at Jerusalem Jews. You know what I'm saying?
Look how you looking.
He know we talking about it because he's like, yo, these niggas up on game, man.
Where's his fringes at, man?
It's in his hat. His hat is a fringes, man.
That motherfucker has to be expensive.
Yeah, fucking $5,000.
What's up with them fucking curls on the side of their head?
That's the lock of the Nazarite. That's what it is. Them little curls is Nazarite locks. Yeah, that's what that is.
And they'll get it like a hot comb and curl that shit up too. You know?
Curling out, yeah, fucking.
Curl out and curl that motherfucker.
If you ever see the kids, they be having like a low cut, and then they
the
have
big ass curl, yeah.
That's why you got Shine. They can shine Paul.
Oh,
He got out
yeah.
trying to do that shit. Yeah. Well, he's a Zebulonite. Shine, he's from Central America.
Belize.
Well, he could be a Benjamin.
Yeah.
I know the land of Belize is Central America. There's Zebulon over there, but he could be a Benjamin. Yeah, you do, you know. But he also could be a Zebulonite, man. So, no, but he trying to embrace so-called Judaism, but he's the real Jew. He's a true Jew. But really Jew, not really.
It's
Israelite, you know, really go back to Judah.
Yeah.
And really, we got accustomed to saying Jew a lot, but that's really a derogatory term.
Right.
You know? You know how Jake like to shorten stuff up, but, you know, hey, it is what it is. That's a derogatory term. You know?
That's what the nations refer to.
He's like a politician.
But see, that's how Esau call us niggas, and everybody embody the word
That's what I
nigga.
was gonna say too.
Now, here it is, we embodying the word Jew. What's up, my Jew? How do you do, my Jew? You know? Jake break it down like that, man.
Turn everything negative into positive. You know?
Which is sense. Go ahead, bro.
If he's on to say, and they were dwelling at Jerusalem, Jews, devout men, out of every nation
That's
under
right.
heaven.
Scattered.
Now, when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because every man heard them speak in his own language.
So yeah, Israelites coming from all, because according to the law, was it Deuteronomy 16:16?
Yeah.
3 times in a year, every man shall appear to the Most High. Every Israelite man shall appear before the Most High. So yeah, it's like that. These are Israelites who knew that they were Israelites. That came every year, every 3 times in a year. They came and they presented themselves to the Most High.
Hey, the key word being devout.
Devout.
Same way how they describe Cornelius.
Yeah, he's
He's a
right.
devout
Devout,
man.
right.
He was devout. He was devoted to Yahweh Shema Shai. It says, now, when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language, and they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? and how hear we every man in his own tongue, wherein we were born, Parthians and Medes and Elamites, and the dwellers in Mesopotamia and in Judea and in Cappadocia, in Pontus and Asia, Phrygia and Pamphylia, in Egypt and in the parts of Libya, about Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes.
That's right. Jews and proselytes. So our people were scattered. Now you had our people who maintained their identity.
Yep.
Then you have people who was completely lost, or people who knew what they were, but they denied it. Like Timothy's father. His mother was a Jewish, but his father was a Greek. For Timothy to be an Israelite, that means his father was an Israelite too. But he just embraced the Greek ways of living.
Our parents, right? My pops, he was born and raised in London, England.
Right.
But his father's Nigerian, right? Well, my mom, she was born and raised in Nigeria.
Right.
So they kind of looked funny at my dad, because he didn't come up as a so-called Nigerian. He just came across to them as like
A British nigga.
A British nigga.
Yeah.
See, but he was still so-called Nigerian. Does that make sense to you?
Right, yeah.
So
You still Nigerian, but yeah, right.
It's just like,
Exactly.
you know, if you from another country, but you know, your peoples are from such and such, but you was born in America, you're going to take on the custom of America.
Exactly.
Americanized. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yep.
So that's pretty much right.
Because this is the book of Acts, chapter 11, verse 19. Now they which were scattered abroad upon the persecution that arose about Stephen, traveled as far as Phoenix and Cyprus and Antioch, preaching the word to none but unto the Jews only.
To the Jews only. That was in these different lands. You go to the book of Tobit and the prayer of Tobit, the 16th chapter. It says, confess him amongst the Gentiles because he has scattered us amongst them. So wherever you go on this planet, you have Israelites, man. You go into the most weirdest place, man. There's an Israelite amongst them, man.
It's a hood, a ghetto.
It's somewhere.
I got some chicken. Not only that, they look like the other nations, but
Right.
they don't get treated.
They don't.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They get treated like Jake.
Exactly.
And they like, the fuck, it's something in their spirit. They like, yo, fuck.
It's a,
We go around the other nations. They don't. You know what I'm saying? They hate us. We can't even be around our own people. They hate us. So it's like.
it's a spiritual thing.
It's a spiritual thing.
There's a video of these cats. It look like straight up Moabites. They got bubble. Mind you, this is like you see that shit. They got and they sitting there fucking rapping and shit. And you look at them.
They got a cipher going.
Yeah, they got a cipher going. You like, yo, this ain't no damn Moabites, man. These are Israelites. And there's over in Japan, they got these cats in the mountains, big ass fucking afros and all that shit, man. All right, and they stay secluded from the modernized Japanese. And you see that they got the big ass afros. You can see that their spirit's different from the straight up Japanese, man. And it ain't just there; it's all over the planet, man. All over the planet, wherever you got a nation of people, there's an Israelite there. That's amongst these people that have the appearance of these other people. We're not talking about people that will migrate now over there. We're talking about people that have been there for generations.
40, I thought was fucked up. I mean, I knew one better, bro. Francis Barber. Oh, you got certain Jake out there that actually look like Edomites, and even act like Edomites too, because they just been there so long.
Right.
They actually don't have the spirit of Jake, but they still Jake.
Israel, yeah.
Look up the this is for the viewers. Francis Barber on YouTube, man.
Which he was an actual slave, you know, and his descendants. If you see them today, they're all like so-called white people, man. They look like so-called white people, man. You know, and like the brother said, they don't have the spirit of Jake because you know what I'm saying? Like people think that. Every Jake
that's
is
true.
good at basketball. Right. Every Jake good at dancing.
That's true.
Awkward Jakes, man. You got some Jakes that live in the suburbs. All day they just skateboard or do something.
Yeah, do some
weird
yeah.
shit. I call them backs. Yeah, for real, man.
Yeah.
You know, but they Jake at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
That is true. That's the flip side of it.
Yeah, that's the flip side.
Yeah.
And you know, we was talking about this last
the
week.
parable of the wheat and tares.
That's right.
Yeah.
We was talking about this last week at the camp. Basically, the Most High, that was like a strategic move that the Most High did.
Right.
Because Esau just looks at, you know, as far as the appearance, the outer appearance, like, oh shit, I'm gonna try to erase this whole nation by taking out so-called Negroes. But guess what?
You got them scattered.
You got those that's scattered
true.
in the other nations,
That's true.
and they don't look like Israel. They
So
don't
you
look
can never
like
do away with Israel.
So-called Negroes, you know what I'm saying? So
That's right.
that was like a strategic move on the Most High part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
Just imagine how many like of those Francis Barbers there are in other nations.
Exactly. So that's Israel is as the sand of the sea.
As the sand of the sea.
Truly as the sand of the sea, man. You know?
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while the man slept,
Well, the good seed is what? The elect. All right, the one that's the seed that fell on good ground and that was risen up. Go ahead.
but while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way.
Esau.
That's why you look at the Blasio's children.
Oh yeah, they look
Those
weird as hell, man.
them cats ain't Jake, man. Those are Edomites,
They
man.
awkward as all hell, man. You can see
You know
them.
what's funny? And this is how we remember that brother? This is before he was in the camp, the brother Shammai. Remember he had the scar?
Yeah.
This one before he had joined the camp, before all the bullshit happened. And he came with the article. He said, yo, what about the Blasio kids? You think that they're Israelites? And we was going into it. Nah, these are tears. Blasio. And you know who was there? The daughter was standing literally like literally by like 6 feet away from us, man. The daughter was right there. The daughter was right there. You looked at her, that ain't no Israelite woman, man.
That's crazy.
The son, he may have an Italian last name, De Blasio, but those ain't no Israelites, man.
What do you think of
Every Italian ain't Israelite either, man.
Yeah, that's
like when we speak about the Irish, the Scottish, it don't mean like every single fucking Scottish and Irish is an Israelite.
Right, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? There's a mixture of them, man. You have Edomites out there, you got Jakes out there.
You got Italians from what Southern Sicily.
Yeah.
Southern Sicily, right?
Yeah, northern,
Those are
yes,
Hebrew, right?
yep.
And then you got the northern side, they might be, they go back to
My last boss was Sicilian. That dude's a nigga to the 10th fucking power, bro. My last boss. My last foreman, he was Sicilian. He was a nigga to the 10th power, bro. Yeah,
They look like shit. A lot of them look like Puerto Ricans. Man.
They do look like Puerto. Yeah, if you confuse them for fucking Spanish, man.
I was working upstate and shit, and this woman and her daughter were there. They had like dark, super black hair and like jet black, and like kind of like olive skin. I was like, y'all Sicilian. She's like, yeah, how you know? I was like, and they were like jet. They was like, they had that flavor. They had like gold on and shit. I was like, yo.
And then, this girl I went to, I used to swear she was Spanish. Until I found out she was Italian this whole fucking time, bro. I used to swear she was either Dominican or fucking Puerto Rican, but she was fucking Italian, man.
Was that some guy, Paulie D, you know?
Those are some fucking niggas, bro.
Jersey Shore.
Those are some fucking niggas, yeah.
You know? I gotta say real quick, this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 1, verse 5. It says, behold, ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days which ye will not believe.
Which is a calling of the Israelite foreigners, man. Being grafted back in, man. So you go any place, there's Israelites there. All right, you might be on one time I was on the Metro North. This dude like a straight up goop, and he just sat next to me, and he just started talking shit. He's like, yeah, man, this and that. I'm looking at him. This dude's a fucking nigga, man. Started talking about chicken. Like, you mentioned chicken, I bullshit you now. He just started talking about chicken out of nowhere, man. I was like, yo, this dude's a fucking nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? And his whole mannerism, the way he was just swaying back and forth, I'm like, yo, this dude ain't no fucking Moabite, man. But like you said, you got Jake that'll come fucking weird too, man. You know what I'm saying? You got weird fucking niggas, man. So you can't just say just because he just was exposed to a different element than the other Jake. Because you got Jakes that fucking like, I was like, all right, this dude's on some weird. But that's why I said let them both grow together, like the brothers read it in the We in the Chairs. Because you can't really give a definite statement on who's the Israelite, who's not. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, then this scripture wouldn't be written.
Right. And then it says, if I may, it says, try the spirit by the spirit.
Try the spirit by the spirit. That's right.
It says, for I will work a work in your days which you will not believe, though it be told you. You know?
Though it be told you, yeah.
Think about it, man. Because the thing is, you got to be spiritual about it. And then we won't know who's every Israelite. Like, it's up to the angels to really, determine that. Yep. But at the end of the day, man, think about it. Our forefathers, man, to see the nation today, the nation is as a speckled bird, man.
That's right.
Literally, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, speckled bird really mean becoming an unclean thing unto the Heavenly Father. That's what it really means. Yeah. But Jake come in different shades and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That's just genetics. You know what I'm saying? Which is a part of science. Science is knowledge. Genetics is just a part of science. Biology. You know what I'm saying? This is a part of science.
Look at that dude where he played. I don't know where he at now, but he used to play for the Clippers. Blake Griffin. His father's dark as hell. Yeah. His mother's a fucking white woman. Or the other dudes, the Ball family. Their father is like straight up nigga.
Popping shit,
you know what I'm saying?
bragging.
Shalom, bro. But then you see his sons, they're all lighter. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. You got Jake scattered throughout the whole entire thing.
And they all them ball, they all niggas, man. They all niggas, man. And you can tell they pops. LeVar Ball, that dude is a straight nigga. Popping shit. But see, he popped shit, but you know what I'm saying? Only one of his sons ain't in the NBA. The middle son is a fuck up, man. But read that part again.
Even couldn't play, but look how light he is.
Oh yeah, that nigga. I was watching Class Act the other day. You know Class Act. Blade Brown, Duncan Penderhughes. I was watching that the other day. It's a good movie. Read that one more time.
It says, behold, he among the heathen and regards and wonder marvelously.
Right, because Jake is among all these other nations, man. All right? And some of them look like the other nations and some of them don't look like the other nations, man. Because when that shit happened over there, this whole COVID thing happened, they was kicking Jakes out of hotels over there. You know? In China. You see what I'm saying? Okay?
It says, for I will work a work in your days, which ye will not believe, though it be told you.
And that was bringing all the Israelite foreigners back to the fold, man. That's basically what it was. Bringing all the Israelites back to the fold, man. Let me just come up for a little bit. No, they're not. That was bringing all the Israelites back to the fold, man. Bringing Jake back, I should say, man. And the Israelite foreigners now it's open for y'all to come back. Because what did Yahweh Shai say? Yahweh Shai said, go to John. Give me John, the first chapter. Let me give me John 1. I'm trying to think about the verse where it tells you he came to his own received him not. No? Should have seen it.
This is the book of John chapter 1 verse 11.
Yeah.
He came unto his own, and his own received him not.
Right, and his own received him not. So who's Yahweh Shai's own? Go to Hebrews. Go to Hebrews 11 and 7. These are basic scriptures, man. Basic scriptures.
This is the book of Hebrews.
Because you got one guy out there saying that, only the northern tribes are Israelites. He's saying the Negroes tribe, the southern kingdom. Kid you not. He's saying only the northern tribes are Israelites. Read that.
This is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 7.
See, these are people, man. You see these little Issacharites, man? These are people, man.
I start at 6.
All right? Those are Israelites, man. Yeah, read
Start
that.
at 6. It says, but without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High.
Right. You got to have faith to come to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. It takes faith for you to believe in something you don't see. All right? Here it is, you believe in it, but you don't see it, man. That's what the Most High is pleased with, man. So without faith, it's impossible to please him. Okay?
It says, that coming to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
Read on.
By faith, Noah, being warned of the Most High of things not seen.
This is Hebrews 7 and 14. Salaki. 7 and 14, my bad.
This is Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14.
Yeah.
For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
So why does it say it's evident? Because why? Because they had the genealogy, man. They had the genealogy, just like it tells you in Matthew 1 and 1. That's why it's evident. We got evidence here of the genealogy that this guy, Yahweh Shai, the Lord, he goes back to Jacob. He goes back to the son of Jacob, which is Judah. Okay? He don't go back to Issachar or Ephraim. He go back to Judah. All right? We got the evidence. This is the genealogy right here. So up to that time, we still had the genealogy. We still had them records up to that time. When all that came, the falling away. When the falling away came, we lost a lot of stuff, man. Now here it is. Here it is. You get into a house fire or something, and you got all your documents, your social, your birth certificate, and stuff like that all up in there. That stuff is lost, right? Right or wrong? You see what I'm saying, man?
And if I'm not mistaken, what it's in your name would contain a large portion of your lineage, right? Because it will tell you the son of so and so and so and so.
Exactly.
So you have to know Jake had to do that going back in the days. They probably could go back to 11, 12 generations because they were talking to the Sudanese guy, Hamite, Egyptian. And he was like, you have to go back 11 generations, 12 generations, knowing my father, going back. You know what I mean?
That's an ancient custom. Well, that's why even in the Passover service, when you do you keep the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Sabbath service, you come up there when you're going to read the Hebrew, you say, like say for instance, your name is Quadar, Bunyamin, Bunya Shivala, which one brother can't even say his fucking name. You know, you an Israelite, but you can't even say your tribe, but you deep. You can't even say your tribe, but you fucking deep, man. You know? Good?
It says, for it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
So the Lord came out of the tribe of Judah, which would make him what? A so-called Jew. All right? Yahweh. All right? That's why the prophecy in Genesis speak about a law given not departing, but the scepter not departing from Judah. Because why? Because Yahweh Shai was going to come from Judah. That's why. Read on.
It says, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
So Moses didn't speak nothing concerning priesthood. All right? You see what I'm saying? All right, that was it on that, right? We're not yeah, read that.
Book of John, chapter 1, verse
So
11.
Yahweh shouted from the tribe of Judah, which really came to the so-called Jews, which they were the southern tribes, the so-called Negroid tribes. All right? Yahweh Shai ain't have no slick back Rico Suave ponytail, man. All right? Yahweh Shai looked like a so-called Negro. All right? You ever seen that video with Ice Cube? You know how we do it? When he had the big ass fro in the video? You know? Yahweh Shai had a fro, all right? And a beard, okay? You see what I'm saying? He didn't have no, you know what I'm saying? They put the gel up in their head, they up in the mirror and shit. You know, the Latino tribes, man. Yahweh Shai ain't have that shit, man.
How did they justify the seven kingdoms they done with it?
I don't know.
They just said that?
I don't know, man. The brother put me on like, yo, well, go ahead, keep on teaching what you're teaching. Now, when the Lord comes, you see the Lord is a so-called Negro, you take it up for him, man. All right? Because we ain't got time for all this, man. This should be common knowledge who the tribe of Judah is, who Benjamin is, and so on and so forth. All right? It should be common knowledge right now. Read on.
This is the book of Jeremiah.
He came unto his own, and his own received him not.
So he came unto the so-called Jews. He came unto the Negroes, okay, so to speak. Yahweh Shai came unto them, all right? He came to them, hit them with the word, hit them with the gospel. They didn't want to hear him. What? Oh, yo, the carpenter, son. You know? Laughing at him, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's what niggas do. Imagine, that's why the scriptures say the servant is not greater than his master. Imagine you go to some cats you saw, used to hang out with back in the day in high school or something, you meet up with them, and you start hitting them with this Israelite stuff. They go, what? You? Please, man. You a prophet? What? Get the fuck out of here, man. I know you from homeroom. You know, I know you from second period. You know, these guys will look at you like you a fucking mook, man. Like you a schmuck. You know? They don't want to hear the word of your mouth. They want to hear somebody, you know what I'm saying? That's you could accept it more if it's coming from this guy.
T.D. Jakes.
They want to hear from them, you know? It's more acceptable to hear this word coming from that guy. But coming from him, we don't hear it. What you gotta understand is the Most High use the guys that are low, man. That's right. All right? Everybody in this truth is not a fucking this guy, he's a doctor or a lawyer, you know? Nah, man. The Lord can choose a factory worker, a construction worker, a bricklayer, a taxi driver, okay? You know what I'm saying? Somebody bumming doing DoorDash or something like that, man. You know? You see what I'm saying? But in essence, the Lord still has balance because the Lord do got certain men that are physicians and whatnot. As a matter of fact, Luke was a physician. When you go into the scriptures, Luke was a physician. Okay? So the Lord do got certain men that I'm gonna let him do this, I'm gonna let him do that, but guess what? This guy's still my man. You know?
So real quick. It's 1 Corinthians 1 verse 26. For you see your calling.
Man, you see your calling. When you look around at this thing, man, you see your calling. All right? Yeah?
Brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh.
Yeah, we don't got PhDs up here. All right? What it say about Peter and them, man? They tell you that they were fishermen by trade, but guess what? They wasn't all that deep. They wasn't all, you know what I'm saying?
Ignorant men.
Yeah. What's the word ignorant means not to know. You know, they call them unlearned men.
Yep.
All right?
They marvel. They say, they had to be with Yahweh Shai. Because Yahweh Shai wasn't learned traditionally like the scribes and the Pharisees. So they're looking at him like, yo, where did you get this information from? Because he didn't speak. He spoke with more authority than the scribes who were raised from childhood to understand the law and so on, such and so forth. But Yahweh Shai came with a whole different dynamic that they couldn't. They're like, yo, damn, you speaking like definite. Yahweh Shai gave definite statements. He didn't leave things up in the air like, maybe. You know what I'm saying? When he spoke, it was like, yo, this is what it is, and that's it. That's why I said, look, before Abraham was, I was. That's something you tell that to somebody back then, that was like, yo, wait, this dude,
That's blasphemy.
you bugging out. Like, yo, you're not even 30 years old. He's like, yo, you're not even 30 years old. You talking about Abraham and you was before him. So in their mind, like, yo, this dude's taking it to the extreme. Even when he was brought to the judgment seat, it's like, look, he spoke about the Most High being his father. They said, what else we need to hear from him? He's a blasphemer. You heard him say it.
Yeah.
We all heard him say that the Most High is his father. What else we need to hear from him? And they condemned him. And really, Pilate and them,
They really want to do it.
they gave him over to the Jews. And look, what the hell? That don't got nothing to do with us. Y'all take care of this. And they say, nope. He said, yo, that has, according to our law, we can't unlawfully. Because they knew, really, according to the law, they couldn't have put him to death. So I said, look, y'all gotta do it. Because he said, look, this, he's not a friend to Caesar. So if you let this man go, you against Caesar himself. So they pushed him back over to Pilate because he had to be crucified the way he had to be crucified. Because in our law, there's no such thing as crucifixion. Either you hanged or you stoned. There's no fucking.
That was like capital punishment.
The capital punishment for the Romans was crucifixion. That's not in our law. You know what I'm saying? Even beheadings is not in our law. Either you was stoned or you was hung. You know what I'm saying? That's how it went down. When you was condemned to death.
Or you burned.
Or you burned. That's right. He burned you too. Yep. It says, but you see your calling, brethren, how not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty.
Right, not many wise men. So the guys they have a camp, 4 or 5 brothers in the camp. It ain't like, oh, we all graduated from Harvard or something like that to get this knowledge. We like Indiana Jones, and we excavated this land and went up in there and, you know what I'm saying, grabbed these books and learned hidden knowledge that the world has never known. It ain't like that, man. You know? We regular average Joes, man. A Joe Schmo, so to speak, man. The only difference about us is that the Heavenly Father, that marvelous light has shined unto us, man. Okay? That's the difference about us, man. You know?
It says not many mighty, not many noble.
Yeah, not many mighty. We don't got no might in this society, man. Okay, you may have certain brothers that go to the gym, all right? Okay, some brothers, you do push-ups and all. We ain't got no real might, all right? The cops come and grab you up. You got to go to the Most High, you know? You got to call on Yahweh Shem Yahushua to get delivered out of that, man. You know? We don't got high connections where we can call, such and such, get me out of this jam. We don't got the connections, man. We got to go to Yahweh Shem Yahushua and deal with faith, man. You know? Whether we in bonds or whether we so-called free out here to teach, man. You know?
It says not many noble are called.
Not many noble are called, man. And that's what you see, man. You got a lot of people in Hollywood and whatnot, man. Guess what? They not on this side. They done heard the word, but they rather stay over there where the riches are at. Only thing I tell you is easier for the camel to make it to the eye of an eagle than for a rich man to enter to the kingdom of heaven, man. A person don't want to give them riches up, man. They don't want to give that up. Well, Yahweh Shah gave it up. That motherfucker act like Yahweh Shah was broke when he first, you know what I'm saying, when he was first born. When them wise men came, and they always paint the image of 3 wise men, okay? It was a whole lot more wise men in Israel than 3, okay? And there was a chariot that showed them where he was being born, and they knew the scriptures, man. Some of them wise men back then is some of us now, okay? You see what I'm saying? They knew the chariot was at, and shot the light down and showed them where the Lord was at. That's the only way. Okay? It wasn't no eagle eye and drones. Yeah, he's there. And, you know what I'm saying? Like they got now. You know what I'm saying? Right now, wasn't no satellites up there at that time. The chariot came and it shined the light down and showed them, look, he's in that house right there.
Angel.
You know, the angel. And it'll tell you, if I'm not mistaken, it'll tell you a star. It'll tell you the star.
Right.
You know?
And it went and it basically his father is moving.
It's like a chariot moving.
It was a chariot. It was a chariot moving and it stopped right on top of where Yahweh Shah was at in the manger.
And they went up in there, knocked on the door. Perhaps, maybe, cordially, it's the Lord now. They ain't busting like no kicking the door, nigga shit, they knocked on the door, the Lord was there, and they went into the scriptures and whatnot. You know, we seen the star, you know, so on and so forth. And they spoke to Joseph and Mary, and you know, that was that. The rest is history. But they tell you that they brought him all kind of presents, frankincense and gold. You know, so Yahweh Shah wasn't broke, man.
I got something for you. It's 2 Corinthians 2 2 Corinthians 8 verse 9. It says, "For you know the grace of our Lord Yahweh Shai, that he was rich."
See that? So the Lord was rich. Okay? He was rich in substance, man. He had all that. He was the Lord. But guess what? It was for him to be poor in this world, man. All right? Because it tells you what? That we have a Lord that is not enabled to deal with the things that we dealt with, that we dealing with now. Because he already dealt with that, man. Being fucking broke. Okay?
He was rich during the time he was Solomon.
Well, we're not dealing with Solomon right now, even though that was Yahweh Shah. We're dealing with him when he came as that lamb, man. You know? He came to be the sacrifice for the nations. That was his main job, man. I'm coming down here to die for these people so they can come back to the Father. Right? And then I'm gonna regain, I'm gonna get the blessing that my father told me about and inherit everything, man. That's what I'm coming here to do. He already had his mission. You understand what I'm saying, man? You know,
Yet for your sakes he became poor.
so it's for our sakes that he became poor. All right? You see what I'm saying, man? It's not an easy thing being poor, brother. Which Yahweh Shai, if he wanted, he could have made gold out of thin air. So he made wine out of water. You know? The Lord did all kind of things, man. Certain things that are not written in the scriptures, man. You gotta imagine a young Yahweh Shai with power now. That's a young child, 7 years old. He had the power at 7. He had the power from birth. 7 years old, he got the power. You know, 8 years old, he got the power. 9, 10. Imagine a little kid, weirded out imagination. Imagine the Lord was doing all kind of stuff, man. You know, but everything is not written, man. Certain things we gonna learn on the other side. Okay, there's even certain books that are written that we don't know about right now, man. Because a person that records stuff, you know, that was happening back then. They recorded all kind of stuff about this, like this guy Flavius Josephus, you know. She could have been an Israelite that looked like the other nations. The word Flavius means blonde hair. Like the Flavian dynasty, those Edomites were blonde, you know. Yeah.
That ye through his poverty might be rich.
Through his poverty. So Yahweh Shai suffered poverty just like Jacob suffered poverty. So why did he say, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty? Why did he say that? He wouldn't be able to say that if he didn't do nothing about it. Yahweh Shai knew about it. Yahweh Shai was homeless and all that, man.
Birds have nests, foxes have holes.
Foxes got holes, but here it is, I'm the son of man, and I ain't got nowhere to rest my head. So Yahweh Shai knew about poverty. You know? The person that could really tell you about something is somebody that's been through it, man. Right? If a person didn't really go through it, they can't really tell you about, you know?
Experience is the best teacher.
Well, the word experience means to try out. You know? So Yahweh Shai did that. Now, when he was Solomon, like you said, he was the furthest thing away from being in poverty. All right? He was the opposite of poverty.
Everything gold.
Everything. Well, he had certain things with silver, but for the most part,
But it was abundance. It was gold and silver in abundance.
God would put gold dust in his head, man.
Not no platinum. He ain't had no platinum fronts and all that stupid shit. Man. Platinum rings. It was gold and silver.
Yeah, pure gold.
Rubies, sapphires, emeralds.
You can imagine his crown.
It was like almost magical, bro. It was almost like some shit out of another fucking world, man.
7 years to build the Lord's house.
Yep.
14 years to build his own house.
So you know it was decked out. Decked. Precious wood. They talk about mahogany.
Talking about ivory.
Ivory.
Yes.
The lions of ivory.
Well, he used to come over to this side of the world, bring back turkeys, peacocks, and all that crazy shit.
Yeah. And they'll gender them, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the mate and all that. You can have, you know. So maybe when you just getting a new species of animal, you can't just eat them right away. You gotta let them gender, breed for a couple years or something like that, and then okay, now how much we got in abundance? We got 28,000. Okay, we can start cook one up, you know, try it out, you know. Yahweh Shai knew about that, man. You know, any beast that was lawful, he probably ate it and tried it, you know. And he's the author of it, man, under the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that the Lord set up as the foreman to tell us to do, tell the elect men what to do, make this, make that. You know what I'm saying?
It says without him, nothing that's made would have been made.
In heaven, or in heaven, visible and invisible. So the Most High did everything through Yahweh Shai. You know, the Lord is too majestic, man. The Lord is so majestic. The Lord is out there, man. That's just a simple way that I'm trying to, you know, some simple words I can gather. The Lord is out there, man. You cannot find out the Heavenly Father, man. You know?
That's right. And there's things happening now that we're going to find out in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're in the spirit world, you know what's going on with the Most High and what's He's setting up to a certain extent. But there's things when we're on earth, new things happen. It says be creatures newly created. So you might see something, you might see from a perspective from the spirit world, but once you come into earth, there's still things happening. It's not like it's a day off, like, all right, we're going to chill for today. You know what I'm saying? You got things happening on a constant basis. Esau, with his signs, tell you that the universe is expanding, man. We don't know the depths of outer space. They don't even know the depths of inner space. We don't even know what the hell's at the bottom of the fucking ocean, man.
The chariots be going down in the ocean, man. They be going down there, man. Are they creating new shit down there or what?
There's things down there that we can't even begin to. And I'm saying they want to go to Mars and do all this shit, but you can't even. That's why when they told Ezra, Gabriel was the angel came to Uriel came to Ezra. He said, look, you can't detach yourself from what's on this earth, but yet you want to find out what's going on above your pay grade. In so many words. Right. He said, look, I asked you about fire. I asked you about the day that done passed. I asked you all the things that you gotta deal with on a day-to-day basis, and you can't answer me that. But you want to know. You want to know what the Most High is about. You want to figure out what's going on. That's why it says, he that's on earth can understand the things that's on earth, and he that's above the earth can understand the things that's above the earth. So this thing is happening right now as we speak. What did Yahweh Shai say? I go to prepare a place for you.
Why come you cannot go?
Why come you can't go? He said, what are you going to do, kill yourself? Or you going to go to
Our mind can't take on that capacity of knowledge anyway.
Yeah, it's too much to bear, yeah. That's why when Moses came down from the mount, what happened? His face was shining, man. Imagine walking around this fucking world like that, man. People will be bugging the fuck out, man.
People could see the glow on you when you really in the spirit of the Lord.
Yep.
People, man, something different about this guy, man. People know, man.
That's what they said with Stephen before he died. He said he had the face of an angel.
Yeah, the face showed. Yep. He seen the Most High. He seen Yahweh Shai.
So behold, I see the Son on the right hand of the Father. The Lord made it to where only he saw it, but everybody else didn't see it. The Lord opened his eyes. He's about to go in the spiritual world anyway.
Stoned him to death.
They stoned him. He died as a martyr for Yahweh Shai.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lesson for us, man. You know,
This is the book of John, chapter 3, verse 12.
Yeah.
If I have told you earthly things and ye believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly
things?
That's to the point. That's simple.
I tell you earthly things. You can't understand that.
Esau, man. Esau can't understand these earthly things, but he want to be the Most High. You want to be the Most High. Here it is. I was reading an article. The International Space Station is falling apart, bro. They gotta go up there and do renovations on the International Space Station, but you are such a peon, man. They said that since going back to 2018, they got cracks in there. They gotta go up there and plug holes in that shit, man. It's falling apart.
But they landed shit on Mars.
But you landed shit on Mars,
I
man.
show you this shit's all a bunch of damn lies,
And the
man.
ISS is the quote said it's on its last leg.
That shit might fall and collapse into the fucking earth, man.
Well, they got a place where they let stuff land on the earth. Where
Right.
they take rockets up there and whatnot. It's called Point Nemo, which Nemo I think is Latin for no man. Point Nemo is the most remote place on Earth. It's the furthest from the land on Earth. It's just mad water, man. Just, sea and whatnot, man. And they land the rockets, and you see the shit, they go up there, and it crashes back through the ozone layer, and they drop it in Point Nemo. And all the waters in Point Nemo, full of space junk, full of rockets. You know what I'm saying? Rocket boosters and shit that they drop back.
You gotta destroy him that destroyed the earth.
Polluting everything, man. Now imagine
Can't
you got
blame
all
that
this
on
nuclear
us.
waste. You got nuclear waste being dropped into the waters, man.
Them gooks over there in Japan, they planning on dropping it. They said by the year 2025 they want to have it all for that Fukushima reaction. They so-called cleanse it, and they said they're gonna dump it back into the Pacific.
Waters, because they ain't got no place to put it. So what that's gonna do for the fishers that's over there? Why do you think them Japs and them Chinese they coming over to South America, Central America, and they dropping fishing lines, and they grabbing all the fish out of that land, man. Now here it is over there in Ecuador. They have to sink one of them fishing boats, man.
Yeah.
One of them Chinese fishing boats. Because why? Because they stealing all the damn fish that's in their waters, man. Well, let you go over there and do that to them. You know? You can't do it, right? They're a bunch of pirates, man. They're a bunch of goddamn pirates. Fishing is a man's livelihood, man.
Mm-hmm.
And fishermen make a lot of money, bro. What do you think, bro? They make a lot of money.
The water too as well. Certain creatures in there.
They don't care about that. They care about profit. They care about getting gain. You know what I'm saying? You come to find out these Moabites and that, they just as greedy as Esau. You know? Yeah, read that.
Find out. It said Moab.
Yeah.
It said Numbers 24. Numbers 24 and 17.
Uh-huh.
I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh.
Uh-huh.
There shall come a star out of Jacob.
That star is talking about Yahweh Shah. Out of Jacob, Jacob is talking about Israel. Okay? So Yahweh Shah was definitely an Israelite, man.
That's right.
Man?
And the scepter shall rise out of Israel.
And that scepter is talking about Yahweh Shah going back. Yahweh Shah is going to hold the scepter pretty much going back to Genesis, the 49th chapter. It tells you that the scepter shall not depart from Judah. So, no, the other tribes are not, you know what I'm saying, the king, you know what I'm saying? Yahweh Shah is the king, and the tribe of Judah is the head tribe. Okay? And that should be common knowledge, man. You know?
And shall smite the corners of Moab.
Smite the corners of Moab. So guess what? You goots are going down too. All right? When Yahweh Shah come, all you nations are going down. You're going into slavery. All right? And the have-nots, the ones that you look down upon, the ones you over there, you in blackface and making mockery, you know, the nigga woman with a big ass or something like that. They'll put two pillows and some spandex and make mockery of the so-called black woman with a big ass. Or they'll dress up in blackface or something like that and act like Tupac and Digital Underground. Guess what? Those are the people that's going to take you over under Yahweh Shah. But we're going to be in a new form, rare form, which is going to be really a new form. Like the scriptures say, I beheld New Jerusalem coming down from heaven, from the Most High out of heaven. That's going to be the Israelites that are saved coming down, I should say the men firstly, coming down from the ships in new bodies, man. In them big, strong bodies, man. You see? And you are the heathens, you heathen nations, you're going to have them little puny bodies, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, because in the ancient times, our bodies were a whole lot bigger anyway. Because why? Because the food was on point and nutrition was on point. This man Esau wasn't polluting the world with all these chemtrails and whatnot, man. Chemtrails and genetically modified organisms. And we are definitely 100% smaller in stature than our forefathers, man. Brother sent the video out. You can see how they got bones of people that were here, the indigenous people of America. They were like 10 feet tall. You see what I'm saying? You had from your femur goes to your hip. Your femur's from your hip to your knee, and these femurs were so massive, man. They said this guy had to be like 9 feet tall. You know? Then they found some ones that was really like 13 feet tall.
So they did that movie Avatar.
It was tall as hell, man.
Avatar was about God.
He sort of wants you to know that. You know what they'll teach you in schools? They'll teach that years ago, people were a lot shorter. It's fucking madness, man. Okay? It's madness, man. Even Shaquille O'Neal would be small compared to the men of the ancient world, man.
You got that?
Yeah, I got some. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 5, verse 54. It says, "Consider thou therefore also how that ye are less of stature than those that were before you."
And he was saying that during the time of Ezra. So what that mean? So Adam had to be tall as hell. Eve had to be tall as hell, man. You know? Now, some bones you're not gonna find because obviously certain stuff breaks down. Elements will break down after quite some time, you know? You see what I'm saying? But these people have to be super tall. You know? Giants, if you will. You know? No, they brother, they were tall. If they found bones going back to the so-called discovering of America, and these people were 8 feet tall, 9 feet tall, then our foreparents, and this is during the time of Ezra, the angels, this is fucking thousands of years before we were born. Imagine before Ezra, man, they were tall, man. They were real tall. You see what I'm saying, man? Why you think you have to wear a long garment and you have to go up on the altar, on the top, you know, the altar, the so-called pulpit, you know, on a ramp, you know, so you wouldn't uncover your nakedness, man. You have to wear long garments, man. You know, you couldn't wear no, like brothers be wearing these short ass garments like they wearing tank tube tops or something to the camp. Like a tube top, you wearing a tube top with fucking fringes on wearing a garment up to here. That's madness, man. The garment supposed to be down to the foot, man. And I don't know mini skirt garments, man. Or a mini tube top garment. You hear it is, while you watching the video, the guy's garment is right under his chest, man. And Shalom, come on, man. It's madness, man. You have to wear them long garments so it will cover your private parts when you walk up on the altar, and you on the tabernacle, going up in the pulpit. All right. You have to wear long garments to cover your rod, man. And David's rod bounced out. All the women of Israel saw it, man. All right.
We got something real quick.
I'm gonna show you.
This is on 1 Ezra 1 and 2. Having set the priests according to their daily courses, being arrayed.
The priests had daily courses. They had the daily sacrifice. That's one of the daily courses, man. You know, which was the Lord. You had to set up. You had to offer up a lamb in the morning and in the evening. And you had the Lord said you had to dress it a certain way, hook it up a certain way, and then offer it up, man. And they had other courses to do too. Right?
Being arrayed in long garments.
Long garments, man. A long garment. You know?
In the temple of the Lord.
In the temple of the Lord, man. You know? So you couldn't be up in there rocking those shorts, man. You know? And certain fabric, oh, well, what if it got hot? Well, certain fabric, if you got the fabric, then it's not going to be hot. You know? A lot of fucking madness be going on, man. Let's get back to that about how Jake was taller, man.
Right. This is back in the book of 2nd Esdras.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, okay. All right. So you saying David was 5'9", but his rod was bouncing out, so all the women could see it? That's improportionate, man. What the hell? This guy is 5'9", but he. Yo, brother, that's some airhead shit, man. If you believe that, man.
says, it's the second Ezra chapter
I'm
5,
5'9", man.
verse 55. It says, and so are they that come after you.
And so are they that come after you. So imagine how tall Ezra was. And that's going back then. So we way shorter. So not only did the Lord, Issachar, I feel sorry for Issachar, you know. not only did the Lord cut down years, the Lord also cut down our height, man. I'm gonna cut these niggas down, I'm gonna cut them all down, cut them down, make them shorter. You come back this life, one life you 8 feet tall. You come back the next life you 6'2". Like damn, what the hell? A couple generations you come back, you're getting shorter and shorter. You know? You see what I'm saying, man? The Lord did that, you know, to show us, man. You know? You can imagine these ancient men. They said they found a footprint over there somewhere in Africa or something. He said the footprint of a man's footprint, he said the footprint was huge. You know? We're puny compared to the people of the ancient world. Even the women of the ancient world, man. Think you go holler at Judith, man. Judith got to be taller than us. You know? Look at this right. This little, you know? Yeah, brother.
It says, and so are they that come after you, less than ye.
So they less than them. So as the generations continue on, people got shorter. The Lord just hit the super ultra mode on Issachar, man. Issachar, man. When you go over there, when you go up to the West Coast, you got tall Issacharites over there. I don't know.
It's really them Ecuadorians is shorter
I
than
don't know why. They just, the Lord just said, fuck you. You're gonna be short as shit. Whatever the hell they was doing, the Lord cursed them with that diminishing their size, man.
Different tribes got enhanced of different curses.
Yeah, well
You said what?
You know what? That sounds kind of right.
Enhanced of different curses, like the black woman.
She ain't got the hair.
She ain't got the hair. The Issacharites, they ain't got the heights. Different tribes. The Gadites, they don't have the beards.
Yep.
So different tribes get.
Hey, you know what?
Northern Kingdom right now going through a hell of a tribulation over there at the border.
Yeah.
You know, that's mainly the Northern Kingdom. Yeah, like it is specifically some of the tribes from Central America and Mexico. They're getting tore up over there on that border. They basically getting separated from their parents like slavery.
Them lands down there, Mexico and Central America, them places are like the murder capitals of the world, man. I was watching a couple years ago in El Salvador, there was 99 murders in 24 hours. Central America is a big country. They're the murder capital.
Yeah, well, it's a mixture of countries down there in Central America. You know what I'm saying? El Salvador, San Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Bolivia, Belize. Bolivia and South America. Belize, that's what you meant to say. Yeah, Belize out down there, man. Panama. Yeah. Costa Rica. Yeah, we said Guatemala. And those are all Israelite inhabited, countries, man. Yeah, I guess the Lord did intensify the curse on certain tribes, according to certain things, a little more. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, let's go ahead, read on.
It says, as the creatures which now begin to be old and have passed over the strength of youth.
Exactly. Now, when a creature is old and it passes over the strength of his youth, like a lion is not, rambunctious or vibrant as it once was when it gets to be an old lion. Old lion is a lot different from a young lion. A young lion is more, full of fury, man. Tearing apart. That's why it speaks about a young lion, Oh, matter of fact, look at them Egyptians, man. Them Egyptians, imagine how tall they had to be back then. They had to be super tall. Because when you look at the hieroglyphics, they were towering over us, man. You see a person tall as that light pole, I'm literally, brother, I'm not bullshitting, man. We talking about the ancient world, brother. There was a lot of stuff. These people were tall, bro. They were super tall.
That's why to this day a lot of jakes, they get caught up over how the pyramids was built. Everybody wants to come up with some genius idea. You know,
We were big as fuck. That's how it was.
they'll tell you that it was built from the top down with the spaceship, but that's not how it was built. It was built off of man labor. You know, when you actually look at them limestones, those Jews, they huge as hell.
But men were huger.
Man was that makes
All the sense.
makes it all the sense, right? Men had to be larger, but they don't want to think about that idea mainly because Esau made that like an impossibility through teaching evolution. Like we got better over time, when it's the actual opposite has been happening the whole time, getting worse. Yeah, history shows you that, man, that people's getting worse. Got something real quick.
We're getting smaller too, man.
So Judges 14:5 says, Then went Samson down and his father and his mother
Right.
to Timnath, and came to the vineyards of Timnath,
Right.
and behold, a young lion roared against him.
Right.
And the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and he rent him as he would have rent a kid.
So he rent him, man. He ripped him up.
It says, and he had nothing in his hand.
And he had nothing in, so Samson is pull him apart, man. You know? Yeah.
Go ahead and try that now.
This is some superhuman type of stuff that was going on, but men were just stronger back then. Men were bigger back then, bro. They were taller, they were stronger, you know, they were healthier. How do you think a person can live 900 and something years old in this body, bro? Are you kidding me, man? In this flesh that we got, you mean to tell me that Noah was 5'10"? You know? You know?
They were more mighty than men back then, you know? You got guys right now, they scared of a pit bull when they come near them.
Well, yeah.
You know?
Prior to going back to the time of Noah, animals had a fear of us, man, upon them. Now, animals, man, a pit bull will rip you up, man. A pit bull will tear your ass up, man. All right? Yeah,
This is the book of Exodus chapter 1 verse 11. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters
Yeah, taskmasters, man.
to afflict them with burdens.
To afflict us with burdens, man.
And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities.
So they not just the pyramids, it was treasure cities, man. Jake built cities. All right?
And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew.
Yeah, because the best way to blow some steam off is tapping some ass, man. You know? Once you get that release from doing your thing, you're like, all right, cool. You know? And you go lay down, whatever the hell, man. You know?
And they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
They were, cause why? Cause Jake, they were whooping our asses and whatnot, making us do this manual labor. You gotta remember, Joseph became pretty much like a pharaoh up in Egypt, man. Pretty much like a king in Egypt.
He was second. The only thing Pharaoh was greater than him was the throne.
That's it.
He had just as much as authority as Pharaoh.
Cause he saved Egypt. That's how he got there. Huh? The Hexus came, he set up his brothers down.
Shepherd kings.
He set up
The
his brothers
Hexus.
down.
No, I mean the
Hexus.
position that Joseph had, they call him the viceroy.
I'm not certain. But he was second only to the king. And I think the same thing went along.
Is it Vizier?
Vizier.
Vizier.
Same thing happened with Daniel too. During that time, during Daniel's time.
A couple of them. Nehemiah. He was
Second to the king.
Xerxes cupbearer. Yep.
And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
Yeah, he managed to serve with rigor, man. So you imagine, them Egyptians, those were not them Arabs that are in Egypt now. Those are the real Egyptians. Now, like I said, they was tall as hell. So you had to look up at them. Come. No? Yeah, even Manu was shorter than his ancestors back then, man. Manu was what, 7 foot?
Nah, he was like 7'6".
That's still short compared to the ancient world, man. You know?
Skinny as hell.
I'm fucking.
They be out there fighting.
I'm sure
They be out there fighting lions and stuff. Those Sudanese, those Dinkas, and that's what we call people. So Dinkas and the words.
But when
They be out there fighting lions.
When you look at the hieroglyphics, them Egyptians, they had lions and headlocks, bro. Like you handling a house cat. They had a lion, you know? You gotta imagine the lions back then had to be bigger too. You know, so how big as hell these people had to be? Yo, man, if the Lord was to show you some images of the ancient times, you'd be like, you think you watching Attack on Titan? You're like, yo, what the heck? These people are huge. You know?
Most of them are like cattle herders. So cattle are what? Meat for the lions, man. So they have to be out there watching over the flock because lions will prey upon the flock. So they have that those Egyptians, man. These people they have that intense spirit on them. So you can imagine the hell that they put on the Israelites.
Well, they be stealing food from lions, man. They be stealing the food from lions and whatnot, and them bushmen and all that. It's more like this, because Ham, we got Mizraim. That's you talking about the Egyptians. Talking about the Matazari. All right, you got the Cushites, which is over in Ethiopia. You got Put, which is North Africa, and you got Canaan, which is South Africa. All right, so it's 4 sons of Ham. Okay, and they all got their own shit about them. You can see a Cushite, man. You can tell a Cushite from jump.
Big ass head.
Either now the land
Dismal,
of
they
Kush
got
is
that
broken up.
dismal fucking spirit.
Somalians, and then you from Djibouti, or you from Ethiopia. You know, those are Eritrea. Those people are all fucking Cushites. Y'all all look alike. Y'all are all Cushites. Like that whole thing with the pirates. Those are Cushites doing that madness. Those are all Cushites. No, you're not a Somalian. You're a Cushite. Okay?
And they be knowing they're Christians.
Because why? Because their genealogy go back. We the only people that can't tell you, you know what I'm saying? This, that, and the other about going back in our genealogy because that was beaten out of us, man. Right? I can't tell you my forefathers that came on the slave ship. You know? They could go back, you said what, 11 generations, 12 generations? That's something that's an ancient custom, keeping the genealogy of your ancestors, man.
A lot of that got taken away as well because that captivity. But Esau done conquered all of them lands, man. Even when you go back with the scriptures talk about Philip running up on the Ethiopian eunuch, and it says something about serving a Candace. Right? Candace was the line of the queens known as Candace from Ethiopia. Right. And there was a whole line of them. But you don't hear them talking like that because they was conquered. Ethiopia was conquered. Right? All of them African countries, and all these continents eventually got conquered by Esau. Whether they was Greek, Roman.
Ethiopia means burnt face.
Right, it's Greek.
Ethiopia. It means burnt face.
Gave you all y'all names, man.
When they came there, they said, look, these people look like their face is burnt. Look at these black fucking jumbies. You know? And that's what they call them, man. This is South Africa after Leo Scipio's Africanus. This is South Africa. This is North Africa. This is Egypt bondage because we enslaved these people over here. You know what I'm saying? Or Asiaticus. See, the thing is, Africanus and Asiaticus, they was brothers, all right? And one's military skill wasn't as good as the other's. Africanus, his skill was a lot better than his brother, Asiaticus, if I'm not mistaken. It could be the other way around. One of their skills was better than the other. I'll say it like that, you know, to leave it on the even playing field. Go look it up. They was both commanders, but one was greater than the other, all right? But they both got Asia. You got Asia Major, Asia Minor, all right? And you got Africa. They named after them two crackers, man, all right? That was military commanders, man, all right?
Verse 14. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
You know what it is to make your life bitter, man? All right? You know what it is to make somebody's life bitter? Go watch Roots, man. Go watch Goodbye Uncle Tom. All right? Now this is even before that. You know, you got them picking up these heavy ass boulders, 10 men at a time, picking up heavy boulders and whatnot, man. You know, to build a pyramid. The only way them pyramids could have been built is if the people were big as hell. Oh, they used this tactic, they used that tactic. No, they were big and strong, and they built them pyramids for the Egyptians, man. They did use, of course, skill to do it. You know, you gotta have calculus to calculate. Oh, yeah. And nowadays, you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing chariots that look like pyramids. So who's to say they didn't see a pyramid chariot and say, yo, we're gonna make that down here? They could have did that. You know them heathens, man. They do all kind of madness, man, because they see something in the stars. They see the moon look a certain way. Oh, we're gonna set up this idol or that idol. We're gonna build this and build that, man. You know?
That's how you know the northern kingdom is Israelites, because the only place on the earth that has pyramids is in Egypt, which Israel was serving captivity Egypt and in the Americas, man, whether it be Mexico or Central America, man. That's the only places that have pyramids on the earth, man. Why? Because the same people build those pyramids, the Israelites. And Issachar is known for what? High mathematics, man. The Aztecs, the Mayans. That's on the pyramids takes high mathematics to build, man. They tell you when you go into the pyramids, they line up directly with all type of celestial constellations, man. That's not by mistake. That's by they know what they were doing. They wasn't just some simple-minded. No, man. They know what they was doing.
Pyramids in Peru too. Showing you all the northern tribes. They show you, I forget the name of it. A co-worker of mine showed me. It looks like it was cut with laser cut. How they designed some of the stones. How they made basically they didn't have nails back then, but they made something that's basically like a nail today. And how they built their ancient civilization. Basically. Yep. So they was using, I mean, the same thing goes for Egypt. They cut out a stone. Certain things was already invented by Jake, man, like a pulley system, things like that.
But you got something called the Iron Age. When people start, like, you read the scripture, so you had 900 chariots of iron and whatnot. There came a time where people started incorporating that iron in there. That iron became incorporated in there somewhere, man. See what I'm saying? The Iron Age or something like, you know what I'm saying? So, because there was an Ice Age.
Stone Age, a Bronze Age.
Stone Age, there was a Bronze Age. You got the Iron Age, all right? You got the Industrial Revolution that happened and whatnot, man. So there's a lot of different ages, man. You know?
And they made their lives better with hard bondage.
Hard bondage, put us in slavery.
In mortar and in brick.
In mortar and in brick, all right? Because what them pyramids are built of, it's built out of brick, all right? You know?
And in all manner of service in the field.
So in all manner of service, man. You know? You got some grass. You know? You be seeing Jake jump out the truck with the lawnmower and all that. No, they'll come out there with some, you know, sickles perhaps and start cutting stuff down. Manual labor. You know, no machines, no cranes, no excavators, no bulldozers, none of that, man. No, you got the caterpillar lifts and all that, man. They had none of that, man. Manual labor.
Now Egyptian sun ain't no joke, man. Now Egypt, it gets like 100+ degrees in Egypt. You understand? You think over here, American sun is, no, man, that Egyptian sun, that desert sun, that ain't no joke, man. 100+ degrees, man. And I'm just to imagine, Israel will probably drop it dead of heat strokes, man. Working out there in Egypt.
Well, I tell you about how Judith's husband died. Said the heat came to the top of his head. He could have died of a heat stroke. He was working or something like that in the field, and the heat came to the top of his head, and he died like that. You know? Yeah.
Wherein they made them serve was with rigor.
Rigor. And I looked up the word rigor before. Look up that word rigor right quick, man. I forget what it means. I looked it up before, but I've forgotten what it meant. Just bear me for one moment. What's the verse?
Exodus 1:14.
1:14. Okay. The word rigor is from the Hebrew word parak, and it means harshness, severity, cruelty, right? So this wasn't no kind of slavery, man. It wasn't, can you perhaps go over there and maybe do this? You know what I'm saying? gotta, you know what I'm saying, elaborate any longer. Good.
Verse 15. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah.
So that would have been like a mammy, so to speak, man. A midwife. Like a mammy. You watch some slavery movies, they got a mammy. She could tell a young woman anything, you know what I'm saying, when she's giving birth to a child, how to do this, how to do that. Yeah?
Verse 16. And he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then you shall kill him.
Yeah? So if you had a son back then, they'll kill your kid, man. So this goes into the whole thing about Moses and whatnot, and the word Exodus means exit, so, you know, that's what it goes into. But, yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom right quick. You know what I'm saying?
Cut.
Be right back.
Yeah. Grab Judges real quick. 15, 14.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 15, verse 14.
Yeah, driving home the point that brother's making is that nations, all the people of the earth, is a lot larger. You can handle a lot more, right? Mentally even, right? And now, look at Jake, their position today. Basically being beaten down, not even think anything of themselves, right? Mentally all inferior. So we came a long way from our glory days, so to speak. When man was more manly and masculine, right? The foods that we was eating was better.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 15, verse 14. And when he came out to Lehi, the Philistines shouted against him, and the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and the cords that were upon his arms became as flax that was burnt with fire, and his bands loosed from off his hands.
That's when they was about to come take Samson down, right? So the Philistines wanted Samson. They was trying to bind him up. So by the time they came to bind him up, he broke out of those flax or those cords, made it like flax, made it like something very thin, or, you know, not strong. Go ahead.
And he found a new jawbone of an ass.
So I mean, if you bind up a man to this day, most men can't break out of something like that thing. That takes a hell of a lot of stature, a hell of a lot of strength, right? And he was bound by Israelites, as a matter of fact, because they were trying to hand him over to the Philistines. But the point is that how many men could do that, man? Break out of something when they bound up with rope and make it look like it's cheap. Go ahead.
And he found a new jawbone of an ass, and put forth his hand, and took it, and slew 1,000 men therewith.
So here it is, he found the jawbone of an ass and is able to slay 1,000 men. So that speaks to the stature that he had. It speaks to the strength that he had, agility that you have to have. You might get in a fight 30 seconds later, in America especially, man, you tired, man. All right, the fight's pretty much over. Most fights around here last 30 seconds and less. Somebody gets knocked out, they get tapped in the jaw, they done. But Samson was actually killing men with a jawbone of an ass, a tool that he never even used before. All right, something that he just found there. And this is thousands, 1,000 men. So to be able to hold that type of strength and power, the Lord got to be with you. You got to be a lot more physically fit, man, because his enemies was fit more physically. And now I had it earlier, but I lost it. We don't have to get it. Where the scripture tell you that in Numbers, where two men was, or you would have to carry a cluster of grapes between two staffs. What was that? Numbers what? You remember? 20,
13.
13. Can you grab that real quick? 13 to 20, 23. About the shot. Numbers. Yeah.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 13, verse 23. And they came unto the brook of Eshol, and cut down from thence a branch with one cluster of grapes, and they bare it between two upon a staff.
When you look at a cluster of grapes today, there's nothing heavy about that. right? You pay $2.50 for a whole thing of grapes like this, man, and it's light. But you're talking about a cluster of grapes in that ancient world. Well, it was different then. Two men had to carry it between the staff. That means I put a staff, a stick on my shoulder. That same stick hooks the cluster of grapes and goes to this man's shoulder, and we walk with it. So it's showing you how much things was larger in size back then. Imagine what a watermelon looked like. Imagine what one grape looked like. Right? Imagine all of these fruits that we eat today. How much nutrition is lost in it. First of all, the land sap is not getting kept here. So that means that the food doesn't have as much nourishment. The soil it's not nutrient dense. And so all of these things come into play when you're taking in the size of things. Man. That's it, right?
And they brought of the pomegranates and figs.
On the scripture, look it up about the show. It says on earthen vessels. It talks about we are now in earthen vessels. Look that up. Because all we have, matter of fact, grab 1 Corinthians 15 too. All we have now is these, 15. 15, don't grab on celestial bodies. Yeah.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse let's start at
40, brother.
40.
Yeah.
All right. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 40. It says, there are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial. But the glory of the celestial one is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another.
So once again, our bodies are going to be quickened and fashioned into celestial bodies. Flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of heaven. So the bodies that we're going to have in the kingdom of heaven are celestial ones, meaning that we're going to be fully functional, fully aware, complete recognition, complete awareness, right? The things that you take for granted now. You can't even focus on one thing for 30 seconds. All right, the ability for a man to use his mind is lacking now, especially with the invention of the phones. All right, Google. All right, you're not looking things up as much. You're not reading because Google holds and stores everything you need. Imagine somebody right now leave their phone at home. They're freaking out. Right? You want to see what you're really made of and how mentally strong you are. Do without your phone for 2 hours. Or go walking down the street. It actually helps you find reality again. Yeah. It puts you back into a reality mindset. Because all of this out here is vanity. Right? Solomon knew that when he spoke about this life. He said, I hate this life. It's a vexation of spirit. Everything is vanity. Meaning everything is emptiness. Your whole social media, right? Everything you learn from social media, what is it? It's just to get your endorphins and your serotonin levels all mixed up, man. All right? When you hear a bell, the scientists already mapped it out that your vibration of your phone in your pocket or the bells and the whistles go off your phone.
You may think in your mind you hear it, but the phone ain't even ringing.
Right.
But you hear it in your mind.
Yeah.
And it's
still
something.
Right. I heard about it. And what it do is it raise up your serotonin level. Whatever that hormone that makes you all excited. All you're doing is going around this world getting hit with different dopamine levels and hormone levels. You're not even really naturally excited about things no more, right?
It actually dumbs you down, man. Phone and everything, like you was mentioning. Our parents, growing up, they were more sharp. Just remembering people numbers. Even getting to certain places. People rely on GPS, and they've been there many times, but still need the GPS. Shit is crazy.
Yeah, like people, you imagine the explorers, right, traveling across seas, right, during the time of Solomon. Imagine them trying to, they had to navigate through the stars, man. All right? That's how the majority of the world navigated prior to GPS. You use compasses to find out due north, and you use the solar system. Right? You would have to know that solar system changes throughout the year. So you might be looking at Orion at this time of year. Then you might be looking at whatever the other one is. You know, at the other times of year, man. Then you had magic calculations and calculations, arithmetic before calculators, man. So a lot of this whole way of life that allowed you to use your brain more, that's died out, man. That's died out. So now people's really in a dumb state. But technically, these bodies ain't ever been that much of a blessing for us, man. You know, the blessing is that you might have all 5 fingers and toes. You have, you know, but minus being born with a defect, these bodies it still degenerate over time, right? Go ahead, bro.
It says, there is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars, and one star different from another star in glory. So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption, it is raised in incorruption.
There's going to be a resurrection when resurrect means to be erected again, right? Reincarnation is brought back into the flesh, from the spirit to the flesh. Resurrection is erected again, the same, pretty much same body. You never, you know, same body. So you're gonna go from a spiritual being dead in this flesh, right, to resurrected into a celestial body. That's the resurrection for the elect. There's gonna be men that also is gonna be resurrected in their same bodies right before being beamed up into the heavens, man. During the time of the Lord, men is going to come out up out of the graves as well. That's why it's known as the final judgment or judgment day, right? That's also written about in the scriptures. If you don't know about resurrection, you didn't learn about how when Yahushua died, there was men that came up out of their graves and walked around. So it's able to happen, and it's going to happen, right? But that's what the resurrection is going to be. You going into that celestial body, that process of getting beamed up, right? Leaving this body and going into another body. Go ahead. Well, that's it, brother. In the corruption that is sown, guess what? This flesh. Matter of fact, grab Jude. I think it's around the 7th verse, the book of Jude.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 2, chapter 4, verse 7. But we have this treasure in earthen vessels.
Read up a little bit.
For Yahweh commanded, for Yahweh who commanded the light to shine.
Verse is that? Okay. Start that one out.
Verse 1. Therefore, seeing we have this ministry, as we have received mercy, we faint not.
Yeah. So we have this ministry, which is the service that we teach, this word that we know and we teach, right? Which we believe in, which we have faith in, which is able to bring salvation. And we faint not. We're trying to faint not, right? Because these bodies, man, make you want to faint. All right? First of all, the flesh warred against the spirit. We all understand that. But yes, that's that attack of your, that means you're going one way, you're trying to focus to go one way, and your flesh pulling you back the opposite way. So it's a war within your own members. Here it is, man. You tell yourself you want to wake up in the morning, you don't do that. You don't do that. That's what procrastination is, you know. And then you have men that procrastinate, they turn back to the Lord. They know that this is the truth, but they procrastinate because that's that war and that flesh ruling over them. Go ahead, bro. So it said we faint not. The whole point is that we continue to endure, right, until the end, and fight, right? You gotta fight that same spirit of doubt, same spirit of fear, same spirit that will go back in the world, spirit of missing out, the fear of missing out. You fight that, and the way you fight that is with the truth, but you fight it as well, or to be more specific, you also cut back on certain things you've been doing that basically help the flesh work against the spirit. You cut back. That's why the scriptures talk about mortify your members. There got to be a reason for not going to the club every night. There got to be a reason for that if it's written in there, right? There got to be a reason why, you know what I'm saying, you ain't supposed to be committing adultery if it's written in there. Because that causes you to go back into the world, man, when you're trying to go the opposite way. Jump to the verse. Yeah, jump to 7. Yeah.
But we have this treasure in earthen vessels.
Treasure in earthen vessels. This is all this is. Earthen vessels, right? Go ahead.
That the excellency of the power may be of the power and not of us.
You got the trouble in the earthen vessels.
But we have this treasure.
The treasure that we have is this word. But it's in the vessel. We getting all of this wisdom that we have, but we have these earthen vessels to show forth, just so that the Most High can shine through us. That's basically what happens. The Lord gets the glory. Because we can't beam up. All these things we talking about, we can't do. We ain't out here healing the sick. We ain't out here capable of doing half the things that the prophets of the Lord was doing because we are earthen vessels. But that just show forth the glory that the Lord is. That just show forth His reign and how powerful He is, that He could put such a great treasure in just an earthen vessel like us. Something insignificant, something lowly like us. We ain't did nothing to deserve this. The Lord could put it in us, man. That shows the magnitude of Him, that He uses men like us to do it. All right? All right, and you know, that's it. Lord willing, y'all brothers are edified. Till next time. Shalom. Call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Baba, Shalom.
Wow.